So, ich hoffe, ich habe dann jetzt alles. Hat ja auch irgendwie 3 Stunden gedauert, gefühlt. So, mein Zettel und Stift liegt bereit. Ich wollte das eigentlich online machen. Online sage ich schon, am PC, digital. Aber das funktioniert nicht. Also es würde theoretisch funktionieren, aber das Spiel hat keine Option. Deshalb, ja. Jo. Okay. Passt. Dann starten, würde ich sagen. Also über das Spiel selber weiß ich jetzt nicht wirklich viel. Deshalb, ich weiß, dass wir Detektiv sind, es um diese eine Frau geht, man Sachen suchen muss und das war es eigentlich schon. Ich würde sagen, dann starte ich schon mal damit. Kann man irgendwie sehen, von wann das... Also hier. 3.7.94. 3.7.94. Ich versuche das irgendwie so ein bisschen zeitlich... Okay, die sind aber auch sortiert, so wie es aussieht. Oh Gott, die sind ja alle super kurz. Ich dachte, ich muss hier minutenlanges Footage anschauen. Aber es geht natürlich. Ich habe mir, glaube ich, noch nie so ein großes Spiel, was heißt großes Spiel, aber ein etwas umfangreiches Spiel mit Notizen gemacht. Deshalb keine Ahnung, wie ich das am besten mache. Ich mache mir am besten einfach mal Stichpunkte. Vielleicht kriege ich es auch ein bisschen hin, so eine Timeline zu machen, aber schauen wir mal. Achso, ich kann sogar Text reinpacken. Cool.
You think it's murder? I mean, clearly it's murder. What can I do to help?
Ich denke mal, 27.06. ist dann erste Einladung. Klingt zumindest so.
Yeah, that's me. But February, I mean, that was months ago. What's that got to do with Simon's murder?
So, verstorben ist Simon. Ich habe ihren Namen leider noch nicht. Ich werde mir auf jeden Fall auch Notizen machen nebenbei. Also Simon ist auf jeden Fall ein Suchwort. Ich weiß nicht, ob February... Ja, muss man mal gucken. February. Einfach alles suchen.
I didn't murder Simon. You've got it wrong. You've got the wrong person.
Okay. Vielleicht sollte ich gucke mir die mal gleich durch noch und dann schaue ich mal, was hier so auf dem Desktop rumliegt.
I'd like to speak to a lawyer now. Please. You have no murder weapon. You have nothing. And all these stories we've been telling each other. Just that. Stories.
Ich weiß nicht, ob Stories Sinn macht. Ich denke mal nicht, dass die irgendwie unter Stories was... Lawyer... So, was ist das? Achso, History. Das sind File Access. Okay. Ne. Ich will eigentlich... Achso! Ich kann das verschieben, aber... Na gut. Warte mal. Ach, das sind die 4 Videos, die ich habe, oder? Würde ich jetzt fast sagen. One volume missing. Rubbish Bin, Hack Info. Crow Hack oder sowas. Also, doch, ich kann ziehen. Kann ich das irgendwie größer machen? Nein. Server Ghost. Okay. Ha. Gut, ich habe jetzt keine Ahnung, wie das da... Oh. Oh. Warte mal, spiele ich jetzt gerade für 2 Leute? Aha. Ich drücke jetzt einfach mal. Bringt das irgendwas? Okay. Nee. Scheinbar nicht. Fangen wir erstmal mit der normalen Readme an. The lighted up base is one of the many continuing efforts to digitize. Okay. Workflow and preserve evidence. Das ist gut. Es ist ein bisschen komisch, dass das Video und Audio so gut ist. Normalerweise von dem Zeug, was ich so sehe, ist eher schlecht. Each statement is stored separately. Ich meine, das ist wahrscheinlich sinnig, aber irgendwie ist halt wahrscheinlich super viel Arbeit, das alles zu schnipseln und dann auch noch zu taggen. Okay. Das habe ich jetzt noch nicht gesehen, dass das Testimony da dran ist. Okay, es geht auch mit mehreren. Das heißt, ich muss nicht nur ein einziges Wort nutzen. Oh, okay, weil es... Ah, okay, das heißt, ich kann auch wirklich danach nach ganzen Sätzen, oder zumindest, ja doch, eigentlich schon. Eigentlich kann ich nach ganzen Sätzen suchen, sofern es genauso in dem Skript aufgetaucht ist. Okay. Das ist cool. 1999. Warte mal, war das nicht 94? Dachte ich. Okay. Couldn't find the server. Ja, so, reicht ja. Das reicht ja. Warte mal, was war das? Ach, das war das, okay. Log-off wollte ich jetzt nicht. Wäre nicht ganz. Alles klar. So. Dann fange ich einfach mal an mit Simon. Ach, Jemini. Aber müsste da nicht theoretisch jetzt auch 61? Okay, dann sind wahrscheinlich die anderen auch dabei. Warte mal, ist das jetzt? Ne, das sind wahrscheinlich nur die ich gesehen habe, oder? Schauen wir mal. Jo.
Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work. Mirror making, feature windows, artistic things. Really beautiful things.
Vielleicht sollte ich mir irgendwie eine eigene Section machen mit Infos. Ich brauche eigentlich ein riesen Board jetzt schon. Simon. Glas. Oder arbeitete. Ist ja schon ein bisschen her dann. Das war der 18.06. Warte mal, aber warum?
Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work, mirror making, feature windows, artistic things, really beautiful things.
Das heißt, am 18. war sie auch schon da. 18.06. 27.06. ist halt nochmal und dann, weiß ich nicht, so lange her.
Simon is 6 foot, darkish blonde hair, average build. He's clean shaven. If his beard grows, it goes ginger, so he shaves it. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with ginger hair. And border photo is a spring photo. This was taken last year on holiday in Rome. It's the best one I have.
Ach, vielleicht ist er. War das nur Missing oder sowas? 18.06., 27.06. und 3.07. So. Rome. Hat sie gesagt, das war irgendwie ein Urlaub oder was? Vielleicht erwähnt sie das nochmal.
It's the Rockington Arms, The Rock. It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan. There's some other regulars there that Simon likes to drink with, and the barmaid they're having sometimes, Helen. Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks.
Helen's Barmaid. Das wollte ich mir nochmal anhören.
It's the Rockington Arms, The Rock. It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan. There's some other regulars there that Simon likes to drink with, and the barmaid they're having sometimes, Helen. Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks.
Die Bar kann ich auch nochmal suchen. Ich glaube, das wäre nicht verkehrt. Ich schreibe mir mal auf, das waren jetzt 61, ne? 61. Warte mal, aktualisierte sich das jetzt? Aha, das heißt, ich brauche das nicht aufhalten. Ich muss es sowieso neu aufmachen. Ist natürlich blöd, dass man nur 5 findet, ne? Da könnte man gegebenenfalls nochmal drüber arbeiten. Jo.
Yes, there's an abstract one. No one uses it for very much. There's a printer so you can write letters on it. Simon sometimes plays games, you know, and Save the Princess, that kind of thing.
Games. Und ich brauche den Namen nochmal.
Yes, there's an abstract one. No one uses it for very much. There's a printer so you can write letters on it.
PC
Simon sometimes
vielleicht?
plays games, you know, and Save the Princess, that kind of thing.
Sieht nicht sehr happy aus, wo sie vor den Games spricht. So, erzähl.
Simon isn't the type to run off or do anything crazy. Someone must have done something to him, or there must be some
Accident?
kind of accident. So what do you do next?
Okay. Ich würde es einfach mal der Reihenfolge nach durchgehen. Das war, wo sie sich selbst irgendwie gesehen hat.
Well, I don't know. I probably had to pop out and get something, that's why I was speeding. And that wouldn't have been noted on my timesheet. But I really can't remember back to February.
Ja, kann ich verstehen. Bei dem Monat. Ich würde mal notieren. Ich habe keinen Platz mehr. Also jetzt schon. Ich weiß nicht, wie ich das gliedern soll. Nehmen wir mal Suspect. Ich weiß leider ihren Namen nicht. Suspect. Ich tippe mal, sie hat ein Speeding-Ticket bekommen. Das wird wahrscheinlich das Bild sein, was sie da hat. Ticket in February. Okay. Das waren nur 2. Die habe ich durch. Okay. Was können wir noch nehmen? Stories. Machen wir einfach mal. Oh. 8. Aber vielleicht bin ich auch einfach nur, weil ich Gast bin, habe ich nur Zugriff auf 5. So, wir haben 27.06. Das war da. Okay. Ich sollte mir ein Schema überlegen fürs nächste Spiel. Am besten einmal Infos über die Person selber, wenn es sowas gibt wie Suchworte, und Timelines. Gerade hier, welche habe ich ja scheinbar nur ein paar verschiedene Tage. Mal gucken.
Okay. Sounds weird. I'm not great at making up stories.
Mhm.
Yes. I read a lot as a child and watched lots of TV. Then the doll's house we had, we still have in the attic. It's kind of a fairy castle. We used to play up there and make up our own stories.
Das hilft mir jetzt nicht so. Also das ist 3.7. Achso, das war das, okay.
Fairy tales. Stories about lost princesses, evil witches, magical mirrors and lost children. So you see, even before I knew the truth, I'd found it in those stories.
Ich hätte schon 3. Mal oder sowas Princess gesagt, das habe ich mir jetzt auch mal aufgeschrieben. Das da?
No, it was just me and her. Eve was the name they were going to call their first child.
Eve?
They talked about it and were going to try when he came back. Florence's family had a history of firstborn girls, so they were convinced it was going to be a girl. It's hard to know if this is all true. These are stories I remember, that I read when I was a child. Maybe I misread, maybe I misunderstood. Sometimes it's hard to remember what happened last week.
Das will ich nochmal hören. Gerade da fehlt mir noch ein Name.
It was just me and her. Eve was the name they were going to call their first child. They talked about it and were going to try when he came back. Florence's family had a history of firstborn girls, so they were convinced it was going to be a girl. It's hard to know if this is all true. These are stories I remember, that I read when I was a child.
Florence war der Name, den ich haben wollte. Was ist das?
I'm not sure where the dollhouse came from.
Dollhouse?
I don't know if it was given to them or they inherited it. I mean, they wouldn't have had the money to buy it. It was so huge. It must have been taken up to the attic in parts and then reassembled up there.
Attic vielleicht auch noch?
It's a beautiful thing. Wallpaper to scale, little furniture, the lights work, mirrors, beds, big duvets and pillows. We spent hours and hours playing in it, invented all these characters and families who lived there. We wrote paperwork for them all, passports, diaries, gave them all really elaborate stories. Once, a moth got trapped in there. We'd left a light on. It was making the most horrendous noise. We tried to kill it, but it was tough. We ended up crushing it under a copy of the Arabian Nights.
Wer ist We? Verdammt. Lawyer. Nummer 4, die krieg ich durch. Das wird das
Can I leave? Are you going to arrest me? No. They'd laugh you out of the building. A lawyer would make mincemeat of you.
Schon mal agitated dazu. So. Next.
Yes, I understand my rights.
Arrest könnte ich
I
noch.
don't need a lawyer.
Ah. Wie? No lawyer? Warte mal, ich hatte doch eins davon schon gesehen. Genau, das war vom 3.7. 12 Uhr. Irgendwie eine halbe Stunde später. Dachte ich, will jetzt einen Lawyer haben, oder was? Na gut. Nein. 30 Minuten Lawyer. Okay.
Yes, no lawyer. What are you going to arrest me for?
Das war dann.
I'd like to speak to a lawyer now. You have no murder weapon. You have nothing.
Weapon.
And all these stories we've been telling each other. Just that. Stories.
Weapon. Also jetzt aktuell gehe ich eigentlich nur nach den Sachen, die sie so sagt. Sonst könnte man sicherlich auch noch ein paar Sachen reinschreiben, die vielleicht sinngemäß passen würden. Sowas wie Death vielleicht. Mein Mörder hatten wir ja schon. Mal gucken. Rome. Aber das eine, okay. One. Rockington. Das war auch nur das eine. Rock. Ah. Das hieß ja irgendwie The Rock oder nur Rock oder sowas.
So, it was Friday evening. We had an argument. He left. On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited all day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on the Saturday afternoon. He had a job. He didn't show.
Eric.
So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at the Rock. That's our local. They said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. He still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to come and see you. His parents haven't heard anything either.
Okay, das heißt, wir haben zumindest schon mal die Person, dann zwar eine Timeline, wobei das ja eigentlich auch eine Timeline, ne? Aber eine zweite Timeline. Also Freitagnacht oder Abend hatten den Streit. Fight. Er geht ins Lokal. Local Pop. Und dann sie meldet sich Samstag nach Abend eher 19:20. Ich weiß jetzt nicht, wann sie da angefangen hat, aber das heißt, das war der 17. 6. Dann Samstag, Mittagabend. Evening. Police. Das heißt, da, an dem Punkt war er nur, in Anführungszeichen, weg. Also also, ne, als Missing eintragen lassen. Und dass die den suchen. Das heißt, der muss auch irgendwo noch found, schreibe ich mir auf. Found. Missing. Okay. So, weiter. Da haben wir den 25.06. Das ist nochmal dazwischen. Ach, ich habe keinen Platz mehr zwischen dem 27. und dem 18. Das muss ich jetzt schon quetschen. Ach, komm schon. Kann ich das nicht nach Datum suchen? Oh mein Gott.
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, I guess The Rock. We've spoken to everyone there. Someone must have seen where he went. I don't know. So many things could have gone wrong.
Mhm. Nochmal. Warte mal, das ist 30. Oh Gott, was ist das danach? Scheiße.
No one has been in the last few weeks. We had a plumber come in 3-4 weeks ago. Someone summoned you from the rock.
Mhm.
No, no one has been in the last few weeks.
Also
We
bei
had a
denen zu
plumber
Hause
come in
nehme ich mal.
3-4 weeks ago. Someone summoned you from the rock.
Ich schreibe mal Plummer auf, just in case. Okay, das war jetzt Rock. Rock hat mir gebracht 4 Stück. Mhm. Okay. Next Games. 3.7.
Mum and Dad had never had any reason to notice. They were always busy. If Hannah was eating a lot, they didn't mind. She didn't put on any weight. That girl has a healthy appetite. If they heard us talking in the attic, they just thought it was Hannah playing one of her games, and that Eve was our imaginary friend. Once, she was already up and dressed and ready to go to school, and I snuck down for a piss. Mum saw me in my underwear, she went mad. Get dressed this instant! So I ducked into our bedroom, and seconds later, out came Hannah, dressed and ready. Mum was amazed.
Okay, das heißt, Hannah ist irgendwie eine Zwillingsschwester oder sowas, weil sonst wird das ja keinen Sinn ergeben. Ich pack mal noch Hannah. Und dann Twin, Fragezeichen. Schauen wir mal. Next. Am Start. Vielleicht sollte ich ordentlicher schreiben. Nur das. 1 PC. Nothing. 0. Accident.
When I was 8, Mother died. She slipped down the stairs. It was an accident. I had read a diary at that point, and I knew she wasn't my real mother. So I burned the diary that day, and I left. Walked out and across the street.
Ich schreibe mal auf Diary und Adoption vielleicht. Ich weiß nicht, wie der mit Wortvervollständigung ist. Also wenn ich jetzt Adopt schreibe, ob er dann Adoption auch findet. Müssen wir mal testen. Das waren jetzt 2. Princess. Einige. Wow. 7.
It wasn't the present so much. It was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror, a nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story. He made it specially for me. It wasn't the present so much. It was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror, a nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story. He made it specially for me.
Gift oder Present. Das heißt der 25.06. Okay. Vielleicht sollte ich mir mal ausschreiben, was die anhat. Blue, Blaus. Oder so. Ich glaube jetzt nicht, dass mir das was viel bringt, aber 27.06. Okay.
Let me see. Yes. I drove in here because I remember, well, I went over the river. And then there was a church. There. Yeah. And I probably parked, well, I remember seeing a street sign called Princess Street. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it must be this one. There.
Aber das ist im Endeffekt, was der jetzt gefunden hat, ne? Aufgrund von Princess. Aber Princess ist nur mit einem S in dem Fall. Warte mal, das will ich nochmal anhören.
Let me see. Yes. I drove in here because I remember, well, I went over the river. And then there was a church.
Weiß nicht,
There.
Church vielleicht.
Yeah. And I probably parked. Well, I remember seeing a street sign called Princess Street. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it must be this one.
Drive vielleicht.
There.
Oder Drove. Auch nochmal. 1.7. 1.7. Scheiße, da ist kein Platz mehr. Fuck. Schreibe ich da drunter. 1.7. Wir können denn wissen, dass das so viele Tage sind?
Yeah, we were 17. It was a nice wedding, people said. Simon looked very handsome in the photos. His parents paid for everything, but he's an only child, so it was important to them. It was what they called a shotgun wedding, but if you looked at the photos, you couldn't tell. The dress was beautiful. It looked like Princess Diana's. The train wasn't quite as long, though. There's a great photo of the bridesmaid helping to carry it out of the car.
Foto. Und die hat ein Tattoo. Das hatte sie doch vorher nicht. Dachte ich. Jetzt ist die Frage, 3.7., da hat sie aber was Langes an. Sonst habe ich noch den 2. Verdammt. War das wieder Lawyer? Gerade nochmal. Lawyer. Fuck, jetzt habe ich das. Ich muss gleich noch reingucken. Das ist der 3.7. 2.7. Da hat sie aber was Langes an. Verdammt. Schlecht zu sehen dann. Da hat man noch ein Video. Zack, ja.
We were obsessed with fairy tales. Not just the pretty ones, but the traditional ones. They were dark and real, bizarre and violent. Felt like life. We had this huge old book that I think Mum must have bought from a library sale. The illustrations had thin tracing paper over them to protect them. They were in colour, shiny plates. At the front of the book was an index of illustrations. We read that more than the actual stories. We'd read aloud the captions and flip between the pictures. There was something intimate about peeling back the tracing paper and dressing the pictures. Rapunzel's hair is cut. The eagle plucks out his heart. The princess pricks her finger.
So, Eve. 7 schon wieder. Schauen wir mal. 30.06. Den habe ich, okay. Fuck, wo habe ich jetzt? Guck mal nur, warte. Princess. Wo hatte sie das Tattoo? Am 1.07. Da schreibe ich mal Tattoo hin. Start. Und davor Eve. Da würde ich sagen, ist das nicht drauf. 30.06. Ja, ist auch dann kurz davor.
Well, my friend Eve. I mean, she was a friend from when I was a kid. And she was always more popular with the boys, and I used to hate her for it. I mean, really hate her sometimes.
Hate? Oder Friend? Okay, mein Platz für meine Stichworte geht langsam aus. Ist ein bisschen blöd. Vielleicht hätte ich mir einen größeren Zettel holen sollen. So.
Yes. We'd fight. We fought on the beach once, and I held Eve's head underwater. There was no one else around. It was at the far end of the beach, and I held her head under, and I kept it out. And for a moment, just wanted to kill her and watch her drown.
Kill können wir auch nochmal nehmen.
But that was it. It was just a moment. We made up after. It was a love-hate relationship.
Und so viel Love war da jetzt gar nicht bei.
A police station. Yeah. When I was young, we ran away on my birthday. Bob Dylan was playing in London and we thought we could break into his tour bus and have him take us with him. The taxi driver we paid to drop us off. I mean, we'd saved money, pinched a bit here and there to pay for the fare. He was suspicious because we were so young, so he told the police. So they came and picked us up and took me back to Portsmouth. My mum picked me up from the station. But I blamed everything on my friend Eve. So my parents let me off.
Ich pack mal drauf Portsmouth und Police. Next.
What are you doing talking about Eve?
Hauptsache schnell wieder den Kopf hoch, damit die Person das nicht mitkriegt. Aber letztendlich sieht sie das doch auch durch das, wie heißt's? Durch das, ne? Durch das Video. Die nehmen ja auf. Sehen die ja auch. Ja, zeig mal her.
My mother called me Eve.
Eve? Personality Disorder? Fragezeichen. Weil ich meine, die eine Situation, wo Hannah rauskam zum Umziehen, kann ja schlecht die gleiche Person gewesen sein. Sonst hätte ich fast gesagt, das ist 3 Persönlichkeiten. Aber wie kann Eve dann den Kopf unter Wasser gehalten bekommen? Wer weiß. Florence. Yes.
Across the road, where my parents first lived there, was a midwife called Florence. When Hannah was born, I was born at the same time. The midwife was there to help. I'd been throttled by the cord, probably wrapped around my neck by Hannah. The midwife told my mother I was dead. But I wasn't. She wrote all this stuff in a diary. Amazing what people will admit to on paper.
Diary habe ich schon. Okay. Bitte mach kein Horrorspiel raus.
Florence took me home with her. Mother hadn't been expecting twins and had a healthy baby.
Ja, doch, Twins.
I guess she was just happy for Florence to clean up. Take away the evidence that this was anything but a happy occasion.
Evidence. Evidenz, Sekunde. So, neue Seite. Kann ich hier auch links anfangen. Vielleicht sollte ich demnächst einfach verschiedene Blätter nehmen. Deshalb will ich es digital machen, dann kann ich verschieben. Evidence. So. Ne, hatte ich das jetzt? Ne, das da. Yes.
Florence raised me in her home. I never left it. She kept me out of sight. It wasn't odd for people to see a midwife with a baby, carrying in supplies, washing nappies, that sort of thing. I never knew any different. I grew up looking out of my window and seeing her across the road. I thought it was like a reflection in the mirror. She was me.
Mhm. Okay. Ja. Florence. Ja, ich sag mal in Anführungszeichen Mother. Das ist ja nicht wirklich. Das.
Florence was a warm, kind person. But she was broken, I guess. When I found her diary, I also found a biscuit tin with other stuff in it. Older papers, letters, that kind of thing. Her story was in there.
Letter?
I never really spoke to her about it. I was far too young to really understand. I guess I just put it together later, once I was older. She had loved children, planned to have a large family, but her husband died in the war. And that was back when you married for life. She never felt like she could marry again. Isn't that strange? She was a widow from her 20s. But, I mean, I guess it was different then. You know, you married for life and she felt she could never marry again. I guess it was harder, a war widow. One of the dead. I don't know, maybe there was more to it than that. I don't really know.
Ich habe mir Buddha mal mit aufgeschrieben. Ich glaube nicht, dass da viel noch drin steckt, aber schauen wir mal. So, Florence war 5. Habe ich durch. Dollhouse ist das nächste. Sehr schön. Ach, warte mal. Ich will aber gerade Eve. Das war das, ne?
My mother called me Eve.
Das war am 3.7. Ich schreibe mal Eve davor. Und das war 30.06. Das ist nicht Hannah. Okay. So, Dollhouse. Yes.
Yes. I inherited it from my parents, so it made sense to move back. Me and Simon. Felt like going back to old ways before the pregnancy.
Pregnancy.
Reminded me of being a girl, the dollhouse in the attic, old things. We didn't sleep in my parents' bedroom for a long time. We decorated it as soon as we moved in, but it was another year before we started sleeping there.
Subtitles ging nicht. Pregnancy. Vielleicht pregnant. Baby. So in die Richtung. Next. Das hatte ich schon.
She recognized me from the window. She told me to come inside, and she hid me. They had made the attic into a place where Hannah could play. There was a dollhouse. She hid me up there.
Mhm.
No one else ever went into the attic. It was her place.
Okay. Hidden Attic. Für wie lange? Ich schreib mal Hit auf. Vielleicht findet man dann noch irgendwas anderes zu.
The legal stuff was completed very quickly. Hannah moved back in with Simon. Eric gave Simon the week off to help with the move. He decorated, modernised wallpaper curtains. Hannah insists the attic be left as it was, dollhouse and all. Simon never went up there.
Jetzt soll Hannah damit eingezogen sein. Move. Move. Ich schreibe mal nur Move auf, falls ich da nochmal was anderes dann so finde. So, das war 5. Fertig. Attic. Vom 30. Das war nicht Hannah.
Could the hairs have come from somewhere else? I mean, could they... We have a lot of dolls in the attic. There's a Rapunzel doll with long blonde hair. Could they have come from there?
Hair. Ich weiß jetzt nicht, wo die Haare gefunden haben, aber wie sichtlich raus. Ach, das ist sogar 12. Ja, gut, die hat relativ oft davon gesprochen, das ist schon Rest. 1.7. Das war das mit dem Tattoo.
Like I said, I think I was popping out to get something, ran out of something, had to grab something. I sometimes drive too fast. If you want, you can arrest me for that.
Warte mal. Speeding. Das war doch 1.7. doch. Hä?
Well, I don't know.
Doch,
I probably
da hat
had
sie
to
schon.
pop out and get something, that's why I was speeding.
Wegen dem Glas habe ich es nicht
And
gesehen.
that wouldn't have been noted on my timesheet.
Okay, dann gucke ich mir gerade das nochmal an, weil ich es gerade offen habe.
You must be desperate for leads if you're getting hung up over 6-month-old speeding tickets.
Lied vielleicht noch. Einfach alles ausschreiben. So, wo war ich? Arrest. Jo. Das ist der Start.
This is a nice room. This is where you take people when it's time to arrest them.
Mhm.
Can you arrest someone who doesn't exist?
Also doch wahrscheinlich irgendwie Also ich denke mal, das ist Hannah und Eve. Aber Eve wirkte halt so ein bisschen wie eine separate Person. Aber vielleicht war das auch eher so, dass Hannah darüber gesprochen hat. Und Hannah dann Eve als nicht als Schwester sieht. Oder irgendwie als separate Person, als Freundin nur. Oder so. 5, fertig. Weapon. Nur das. Okay. Eric, da sollte doch ein bisschen was dabei sein, oder? Yeah. Sag ja.
He was wearing a shirt. It's a blue turtleneck shirt and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric. He had his coat,
Watch.
a long grey duffel coat, black pants and there. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house.
Coat. Ja, bleiben wir mal bei Code. So. Das war jetzt der 18.06. Da wurde auch über den Februar geredet. Glaube ich.
Yes, there's a car that we share, a Cavalier, and a van he uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there now, parked on the street. I'm not sure about the keys for the van. I can look for you when I get back.
Keys. Es werden halt auch nicht wenige Worte, ne? So, next.
Yes, that would be in his wallet. It's a Visa, a silver one. He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash. But Eric convinced him to get one.
Mhm.
Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
Diane. So. Eric hatte 14. Ach, nee. Dann so, dann found. Wie sieht's hier aus? Ach, das ist immer noch so viel. Holy shit.
The bruise. I have a really fast metabolism, so stuff like that just comes and goes. I don't know if there's much more that I can tell you that I haven't already told the other policeman. I found the body.
Okay, Bruce. Body. Und das war der 27.06. Deshalb hatte ich da auch erste Einladungen dran geschrieben. Weil es fühlte sich für mich an wie, och, neben. Zum ersten Mal hier. No Bruce. So. Mhm.
No. Well, yes. He found out on my birthday. I told him I was pregnant.
Ja, Pregnancy habe ich schon. Pregnant habe ich auch. Birthday vielleicht noch. Day. So. Und das da.
Yeah. They'd gone to bed feeling ill, thinking it was flu or something. The neighbour called me, I had to use my key to let them in. We found them dead in their bed. And they'd been there for days. No one had noticed. Just awful. It was so soon after my miscarriage. The worst year of my life. I'd been so happy to get married, and after that it was just like, fuck.
Miscarriage. Die Frage ist jetzt, wen haben die gefunden? Ja. Oder wen hat sie gefunden, war ja sie dann. Und 8 missing. So.
I thought it made me sound suspicious. It's not a normal thing to do, to drive to the other end of the country. I wanted to keep it simple. I know it was stupid not to tell you everything. Saying I spent the night in Glasgow when my husband went missing, I thought it would, distract you from what was important. It's different now. Now he's...
Verdammt, wie schreibt man Glasgow? Sag das nochmal bitte.
It made me sound suspicious. It's not a normal thing to do, to drive to the other end of the country. I wanted to keep it simple. I know it was stupid not to tell you everything. Saying I spent the night in Glasgow when my husband went missing, I thought it would, distract you from...
Okay. So, Missing war nur 1. Fertig. Was steht da? Plumber. Ich glaube nicht. Plumber. Nee, ist nur das eine. Okay. 1. Okay, jetzt wahrscheinlich wieder sehr viel mit Hannah. 18. Uiuiui. Na dann erzähl mal.
My name is Hannah. H-A-N-N-A-H. It's palindrome. It reads the same backwards as forwards. It doesn't work if you mirror it though. It's not quite symmetrical, but well, you get the idea. Sorry. Hannah Smith. I live at 31 Gladstone Street.
Hannah Smith am 18. Das ist Anna. Mhm.
Yes, my name is Hannah Smith. Oh, shit. Sorry.
Richtig, da habe ich nämlich Eve aufgeschrieben. Lie Detector. Detektor. Das wäre noch interessant. So, next ist Diary. Zeig mal her. Aha. Warte mal, wie viel haben wir? 5.
No, he doesn't keep diary. That's my thing. I've kept one, well, as long as I can remember, since I was a girl. Helps make sense of my day. And when you're forced to put something into words, this gives you perspective. Everyone's on the same page.
Page vielleicht mal noch. Next.
It just became our way of life. We would swap places and take it in turns to do things. And we were very careful. Whoever had been out that day would come back and write a detailed diary so that we were on the same page. We had a list of rules that said what we could and couldn't do in any given situation. It was exhaustive. We lived a second life through those rules. Rules for things that could only ever happen inside our imaginations. We would consider all the permutations of future events and agree rules to walk our way through them.
Ich habe Switch mal auch noch dazu gepackt. Also was dachte ich mir gerade nämlich schon, dass es quasi Eve und Hannah sind und die switchen halt hin und her. Und Eve ist quasi die separat bei Florence aufgewachsen ist und im Attic war. Und Hannah ist quasi bei der Mutter groß geworden. Würde ich jetzt mal so dingsen. Adoption. Oh, ne. Vielleicht auch richtig schreiben. Okay. Ne. 0. So, dann Gift. Ja. Fast. Gift. Aha.
Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year. It was a wedding anniversary gift. Steel. It would have been Diane who chose it. She has really nice taste. That time, you must eliminate me. I was in Glasgow then.
27.06. Glasgow. Da müsste ich nochmal gucken, das andere, wo sie sagte, dass sie in Glasgow war. Von wegen, sie hatte nicht alles erzählt. Present, vielleicht. Aha.
It was my birthday, like you said. We were going to have a meal at home. We had our meal. He gave me his present. I guess I didn't like the present.
Nochmal.
It was my birthday, like you said. We were going to have a meal at home. We had our meal. He gave me his present. I guess I didn't like the present.
So, am 1.7. war das Tattoo. Das ist das hier, ne? Ja. Ich versuche gerade irgendwie das Tattoo zuzuordnen. Aber ich glaube, die Aussagen über den Charakter oder den Namen waren bisher nicht so wirklich mit offenen Armen, oder? Also ich will gerade nochmal in Hannah reingucken. Na. Wo war das? War das das?
My name is Hannah.
Ja, 18.07.
H-A-N-N-A.
18.07. Das war auch zu, ey. Verdammt. Wieder zurück zu Present. So. Mal das.
From when I woke up. Okay. I woke up. Simon was already up and he made me birthday breakfast of eggs Benedict. We both had to go to work, so we saved presents till later. I got to work, had some birthday cake, children sang me happy birthday, then I came home. The birthday meal was a takeaway, and Simon gave me his present, which I didn't mind. And after that, we talked about the baby. It turned into a big argument. Simon left, I was furious. I wanted to get as far away as I could and get some space to think. So I left.
Okay. Also sie hat Ex-Benedict bekommen. Work. Und dann, was Take-out, Take-away? Was hat sie gesagt?
Okay.
Take.
I woke.
Irgendwo da.
Then I came home. The
Take-away.
birthday meal was a takeaway. And Simon gave me his present, which I didn't mind. And after that,
Ich meine nämlich, beim anderen hat sie gesagt ein Home Meal. Ich schreibe mal gerade auf. Home Meal. Schrägstrich Takeaway. Kann man nochmal gucken. Das war am 27. 27.06. Mal gucken, wann das Home Meal war. Gucken wir mal. Home Meal. Hat es so gesagt? War das hier?
it was my birthday, like you said. We were going to have a meal at home. We had our meal. He gave me his present. I guess I didn't like the present.
Sie mochte das Geschenk nicht. Die andere fand es okay. Warte mal. 25.06. 25.06. ist kein Tattoo. Kein Tattoo. So. Das war der 25. 2 Tage vorher. Okay. Ich war einfach noch bei Present. Präsent. So, da könnte ich gerade mal gucken, wenn ich nur das T wegmache. Okay, das muss wirklich genau das Wort sein. Glaube ich sonst auch ein bisschen blöd.
About 8 years back. It was a present to myself.
Ah.
I shouldn't even be drinking coffee with the baby. It's been hard trying to give it up. I think they say you can have 1 cup.
Ich weiß nicht, Kaffee vielleicht. Wahrscheinlich eher nicht, aber mal gucken. Baby könnte noch ein großes Thema sein, aber das habe ich ja schon.
Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back.
Warte mal. Warte. Das gucke ich mir gleich nochmal an.
From when I woke up.
Da hat sie einen Dingensring an. Einen Ehering. Aber bei dem anderen nicht. Sieht man das hier? Zeig mal her.
He wasn't
Die
present
ihre
so
linke Hand.
much. It was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while.
Okay, 25.06. ist... Ich male einfach mal einen Ring hin. Das ist der 27.06. Hat sie den auch an? Da haben sie den beide an. Hat sie den da an? Da hat sie den auch an. Aber da nicht mehr.
Her story is that she...
Ne, warte. Ich wollte eigentlich nur pausieren. Nee. 5 Häkchen. Und da. Das ist der? Wie viel der? 3.7. Das ist Eve. Und dann machen wir mal Ring oder Wedding Ring. Ring. So. Achso, ja, doch. Schwarz.
Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes, pretended to be me. They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present, another mirror. Just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror. They argued, screamed. He hit her. So so she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open.
Mhm.
She'd only meant to scare him off.
Throat, cut, Argument. Okay, von dem Standpunkt aus wäre Hannah der Mörder. Wobei sie auch schon mal sagte, dass man nicht arresten kann, wer nicht existiert oder sowas. Exist wäre vielleicht noch was. Exist. So. Princess. Aha. Okay. Vielleicht haben sie dann zusammen den Körper weggebracht oder so. Zu verstecken. Yes.
It's Rapunzel. The story starts when she's born. Mother Gothel, a witch, takes Rapunzel from her parents and keeps her locked up in this tower. Rapunzel gets pregnant by the prince, and Mother Gothel is furious, so she cuts off her hair and throws it. Actually, her hair's already short here, so that's already happened. So she throws her into the wilderness, and Rapunzel is reunited with the prince, who's blind. But she kills him with her tears, and so it's a happy ending. Is that too much?
What the fuck? 36, da habe ich noch kein Ding für einen Ring. Ich glaube, das ist ein
It
Ring.
really changes. You just become more yourself. Simon was my prince, and that hasn't changed.
Okay, aber da funktioniert das mit Prince und Princess, ne? Ich würde mal sagen, das ist auch ein Ring. Ich weiß nicht, ob das wichtig ist.
And the Glaziers. I worked there some weekends, and Simon had a part-time job there too. That was Eric's generosity. He was always good at helping out other people's children. Simon was quiet, more thoughtful than the other boys. Even then, he had a sense of craftsmanship. Wasn't always rushing stuff. Boys that age are just running around like headless chickens most of the time. You know? Plus, he had that look. He looked like a fairy tale prince from one of my books.
Fairy Tale schreibe ich mir auch mal auf. Fairy Tale. Yes. Dann machen wir hier einfach mal Eve draus. Also 30.06. müsste Eve sein. Hannah ist am... Oder? Eve. Ich weiß halt nicht. Warte mal. 30.06. ist Eve. Aber ich glaube, da hat sie kein Tattoo.
I don't know if anyone really changes. You just become more yourself.
Ich meine, die Länge ist ungefähr gleich. Da müsste man das schon noch sehen. Sobald sie was Langes anhat, nicht mehr. Aber 30.06. ist Eve. Und das mit dem Tattoo ist Hannah. Tattoo Short, das ist dann auch Hannah. Der 1.07. Ja. Weiter.
There were always princes and princesses. They were the special people, more important than the other characters in their stories. We knew we were like that. Twins. Magical. We were the princesses. We had a poster of Princess Diana from the newspaper up in our attic. Had a pride of place. And underneath we used to put all our special things. When her engagement was announced, we were obsessed with everything she did. And later, when her life went so bad, we felt for her. Her divorce last year just kind of drew a line under things.
Mhm. So, Princess 5 habe ich fertig. Drove, so in die Richtung.
I got in the car and I drove. And just kept driving north. Just kept going, just wanted to get as far away as I could. When I finally stopped, I was all the way up in Glasgow. was so tired. I just had to sleep.
Warte mal. Das heißt, nach dem... Warte mal. Das heißt, in der einen Story hat sie Ex-Benedict bekommen, ist zur Arbeit gefahren und dann haben sie Takeaway-Essen, dann ging es ums Baby. Ich schreibe mal einen Pfeil darüber. Fight Baby. Und er sei dann gegangen in Local Pub. Zumindest haben die den da gesehen. Und am Samstag, das wäre wahrscheinlich der 18., der erste Tag, wo sie da waren, also Hannah müsste das sein, hat er gesagt, sie war da. Und Eve sagt aber, sie ist weggefahren, weil sie gestresst war durch diesen Streit. Auf der anderen Seite ist aber drove away. Yes. Okay. Dann zeig mal. Wo ist das eigentlich Unterschied? So, da hat sie sich dann einfach die Haare hochgemacht, ne? Okay.
I think when I drove back it was about 8 or something. And I got back to the house about 3.
PM, AM, was? Kommt ihr in der Nacht zurück? Die haben sich nachts gestritten. Abends. 8 los. 3 vor Ort. Da müsste ich nochmal rausfinden, wann das war.
It's like I told you before, I drove. I took the car and drove. I don't have my own car, but I have a spare set of keys. I just drove north. I wanted to think, put some space between me and them. Everything I told you before is true. I stopped at Glasgow. I was tired, exhausted. I pulled out and I hit a car. My car was okay, but I was worried about the baby, so I went to A&E to get the okay. Everything was fine. Slept in the car. When I woke, I tried to call Hannah from a payphone. She wasn't answering. And then I decided to drive back. I had decided that she was more important to me than Simon.
Mhm. Habe ich hier irgendwo schon Car stehen? Meine Liste ist so lang, ist ein bisschen schwierig zu sehen gerade. Ich habe hier Cavalier und Van. Ich könnte mal Car separat aufschreiben. Okay, dann haben wir Drove fertig. Ja, 4 Stück. Fertig. Foto. Foto. So. 1 zumindest.
No, he doesn't have any tattoos. He has a scar down here near his stomach, past his hip. Cut himself with some glass. That was before, a long time ago. He looks just like the photo. He's not got his glasses on here though. He takes them off for the camera. But he needs them to see properly, you know. He has to read a newspaper or a menu in a restaurant. Not book so much, or watching TV. He likes TV.
Ich mag nicht, wie sie reagiert hat, wegen dem, dass sie sich am Glas geschnitten hat. Gut. Bam, 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 bam. So, das haben wir. Foto war 3 Stück. Ist fertig. Tattoo. Ups. Aha. Das war das. Er hat keine Tattoos.
Oh, my tattoo. I got it to express my individuality. It's an apple and a snake.
Ja, ich denke mal, das ist hauptsächlich dafür da, dass man das mitkriegt aktiv.
So I moved out. got a small bed sit. Got my tattoo to mark the occasion. I was singing in a bar in the evenings, so I had some money, enough money to cover my rent. And I've been doing something similar ever since. I haven't put down any roots. I don't exist.
Jetzt sagt sie, dass sie das Tattoo bekommen hat. Ich habe mir für den 3.7. habe ich mir Eve aufgeschrieben. Aber ich habe bei Tattoo Hannah stehen. Verdammt. Ist jetzt aber doof. Wer hat dieses fucking Tattoo?
He saw me singing one of my shows. Pure chance. Not sure I remember what he was even doing there. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar and he came over and we got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously I knew who he was. But he didn't know who I was. He was fascinated by the likeness. He guessed my name from my tattoo. Told me it was a palindrome, like that would impress me. I enjoyed talking to him. It was amazing to be able to sit and interact and talk to him after all this time. He didn't tell me he was married. I'm not sure what he was thinking. He later told me it was like he was dreaming. A waking dream.
Palindrome habe ich mir nochmal aufgeschrieben. Dream vielleicht noch. Wer von denen hat jetzt das fucking Tattoo? Da muss aber auch Tattoo sein dann. Ich mache nochmal gerade Hannah auf. Das war ihrs, ne?
My name is Hannah. H-A.
Ja. Am 18. ist auf jeden Fall Hannah. 30.06. Das ist dann Eve. 30.06. genau. Aber wieso habe ich... Doch, weil sie gesagt hat, mein Name ist Eve. Und da ist quasi... Sie sagte, ihr Name ist Hannah und dann ist es aber doch nicht Hannah. Aber hier spricht sie halt von Hannah, hat aber das Tattoo nicht. Na gut. Verdammt, jetzt habe ich mir nicht aufgeschrieben. Tattoo, war ich da durch? Ja, 4 Stück. Hate. Hate. Haben wir schon? Friend. Aha. So.
No, he was as shy as me. I asked a friend to ask him out for me. We had our first date at the Odeon in North End. We went to see Risky Business. I had on my one best dress. Simon paid. He bought me a whisper, and I was worried about getting chocolate on my teeth.
Das war der 25. Also einer von denen muss ja kein Tattoo haben. Aber ich glaube, da ist irgendwer nicht so ganz oft mit dem, wie sie heißt.
Simon's parents offered to put me up, but I didn't think it would be a good idea. It would be too sad. Not right now. I'm staying at a friend's.
Na gut, dann machen wir Kill. Ist der 7.
What did your wife do? She didn't kill you. You think I killed Simon because he was having an affair? Well, I didn't kill him. I wasn't even there. I was in Glasgow worrying about whether my baby was still growing inside me. I mean, why would I kill Simon? I loved him.
1.7. No Bruce. Too short, da sagt sie aber auch, sie war in Glasgow. Das hatte ich auch am 27. Ist das dann, das ist auch Hannah? Hannah. Ich muss nachher bei Glasgow, wenn das irgendwann kommt, in 50 Worten oder so, muss ich mal gucken. Ich hatte ja noch dieses andere Ding, wo sie Glasgow erwähnt hat. An welchem Tag das war. Das würde mich mal interessieren.
I mean, what if they were crazy? You hear about these crazy people all the time. I mean, why would anyone who knew Simon want to kill him?
Weil das immer so ist. Also nicht immer, aber meistens. Meistens kennt der Täter das Opfer. Frau, du musst bei True Crime gucken. Das weiß doch jeder. So. Portsmouth. Nicht viel. Und dann Police. So, das will ich mir auch nochmal angucken. Ich glaube, da war irgendwo was dabei, was ich mir nochmal anhören wollte. Sag mal her.
It was after dinner. I'd spoken to Simon's parents on the phone. I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff, sad stuff, about when we lived there, about the baby. There's some boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff, stuff we never needed and I never had the heart to throw out. I suddenly remembered that when I'd looked down there the week before, those boxes, that pile was in the wrong place. I went cold all over. I went down there with a torch and went straight to the back, and that's when I saw the bin bags.
Mhm.
Pulled them open, saw the body. I screamed and that's when I called the police.
Okay, ich schreibe jetzt mal Cellar, Boxes and Bags. Das heißt, am 27. Hannah? Ist das Hannah? Scheiße. Fragezeichen nochmal dran. Und Body. Okay, nach dem 27. wurde der Körper gefunden. 18. auf jeden Fall noch nicht. Das ist Missing Report oder sowas. Da ist sie da hingegangen, um zu sagen, ey, hier, der ist nicht da. Warte mal. Okay, 17. war der Streit. 18. kam sie zur Polizei. Und am 27. wurde zumindest davon erzählt. Wann das jetzt genau war, dass sie das gefunden hat, weiß ich natürlich nicht.
No, well, the police let me back in the house. And they let me take a bag of clothes with me, but... 1984 was an awful year in the end. We were living at Doug and Eleanor's. I lost the baby at the end of spring and my parents died in the summer. It was a hot summer, a heat wave. So when they discovered the bodies, it was just awful. Because of the circumstances, them dying together like that, they brought in a lot of police. A forensic entomologist. I had to look that up. It was because of the heat. It's just awful.
Okay. Das will ich mir jetzt mal anschauen, wegen den Zeiten.
1984.
Nein, ich wollte nur pausieren.
1984 was an awful year in the end.
84.
We were living at Doug and Eleanor's. I lost the baby at the end of spring and my parents died in the summer.
Ich bin
It
nicht
was
so
a
schnell.
hot summer, a heat wave. I lost the baby at the end of spring and my parents died in the summer.
Baby lost.
It was a hot summer, a heat wave. So when they
Parents.
discovered the bodies, it was just
End of summer?
awful.
War das End of summer?
Hot summer, hot summer in the summer.
In the summer, okay. Summer. Dead. Gut. Weil irgendwie sagte sie ja wegen nochmal einem Baby. Also sie war jetzt einmal schwanger, hatte dann, tippe ich mal, ihre Miscarriage, tippe ich mal. Das ist Fehlgeburt. Und dann war sie nochmal schwanger. Glaube ich.
They said it was food poisoning. There was something in the food they ate. My dad liked to pick mushrooms, grow them too. They said it was the mushrooms. It was hard to believe. Death caps. They have a skirt around the cap. My dad taught me that. But, the police had no reason to think it was suspicious. They lived alone. And no one had any reason to hurt them.
Okay. Na gut. So, Police haben wir durch. Zweite Seite. Evidence. Gitarre? Okay.
Really? Here's the rest. Laid a body on the dock tonight. Oh, wind and the rain. Till a fiddler with a fiddle came walking by. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle bow of her long hair. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made a fiddle bow of her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made fiddle pegs of her finger bows. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made fiddle pegs from her finger bows. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle out of her breastbone. Oh, the wind and rain. The sound could pierce a heart of stone. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. But the only tune that the fiddle could play was, oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, the only tune that the fiddle could play was, oh, the dreadful wind and rain.
Wunderschön. Also fast.
Anything you sing may be used as evidence against you.
Okay. Ich habe mir Wind and Rain mal aufgeschrieben, weil sie sagte, da der Rest auch noch, ob da vielleicht noch was davor war. Das war am 1.7. Kann Gitarre spielen. Guitar. Ich hätte so gern digitale Notizen gehabt, ne? Dass jeder sieht, wie schlecht ich das mache. Sieht so gedrungen aus und die Hälfte ist lesbar.
Rehearsed?
2.7. da.
You ask me the same question, you'll get the same answer. Is that your evidence? Of course I thought about what happened then. It's all I've thought about. My husband is dead.
Rehearsed. Das könnte vielleicht noch interessant sein, weil die ja ihre Regeln da haben. Evidence waren 3. Letter. Nö. Widow. Manchmal ein bisschen. Wobei. Nee, passt. Passt. So, Pregnancy. Jetzt weiß ich natürlich nicht, ob. Pregnant werde ich wahrscheinlich nochmal separat suchen müssen.
Hannah had a miscarriage.
Hannah.
This was late in the pregnancy and it left her infertile. Felt like the universe had corrected its course. We were aligned again. But Hannah and Simon were still living with his parents. They were married. Simon had a job at the Glaziers now. Eric had given him a full-time position after he left school. And then
Verdammt. Wo habe ich hier? Da. Miscarriage war Hannah. Miscarriage. Okay, die haben bei den Eltern habe ich aber schon aufgeschrieben. Das kommt auch noch. So, dann gucken wir mal. Pregnant. Aha. 25.06. Kein Tattoo, ja.
I got pregnant.
Mhm.
Both our parents had a big powwow. We weren't even in the room.
Warte,
And we decided we should get
Kann ich
married.
dich mal stoppen? Warum kann man das nicht stoppen? Man kann es nur abbrechen. Infertile habe ich vergessen. Infertile könnte ich auch mal aufschreiben. Das hatte ich Miscarriage irgendwie schon drin? Miscarriage habe ich. Okay, so, nochmal bitte.
I got pregnant. Both our parents had a big powwow. We weren't even in the room. And they decided we should get married.
Okay.
Yes, I'm fine. I won't be sick again. This happens some days. I'm pregnant. It's morning sickness.
Okay, 27. Da ist sie sogar pregnant. Prägnant. So, sie sagte aber, dass Hannah eine Miscarriage hatte. War das vielleicht das von 1984, was sie erzählt hat, wo auch die Eltern gestorben sind? Dann wäre das 27. doch eigentlich Eve. Ich schreibe mal nochmal Eve dran, obwohl ich gerade Hannah dran stehen hatte. Aber Eve. Okay. Und das noch.
When I arrived in Glasgow, I was exhausted. The streets were empty. I was driving badly. And I hit a taxi. Not a big crash, just paintwork. The guy was so pissed off because I didn't have a driving license on me. But when I told him I was pregnant, he made sure I got to the hospital so they could check me out. It was fine. The hospital must have details when I was looked at. There's a scratch on the car.
Hospital. So, das wäre noch interessant. Okay. Sie ist pregnant. Sickness vielleicht noch. Speziell vielleicht Morning Sickness. Mal gucken. So, pregnant habe ich jetzt gerade gehabt. Das, 10 sogar, du Scheiße. Das waren 2, das waren 10. Alles klar. Dann Baby. Eieiei.
We spent the wedding night in a hotel in Brighton. It would have been too much to do more. We were saving for the baby. It was wonderful to be in a hotel, away from home, just alone together. Since then, we've always tried to get away for our holiday. We couldn't afford our own place. Simon dropped out of school, went full-time at the Glaziers. That was Eric's generosity. We moved in with his mum and dad. They had a spare room for us and the baby, if it came. It was a nice change, time to myself, living there for those months, full of hope.
Ich muss echt nochmal, also die Move habe ich auf jeden Fall aufgeschrieben, aber die Situation, wer mit wem zusammengezogen ist, ein bisschen schwierig, weil die war ja, am Anfang war die Eve, meine ich, im Attic, aber irgendwann müssen sie ja zu Simon gewechselt sein.
No. I lost the baby. I had a miscarriage at 8 months.
Das könnte dann Hannah.
We carried on living at Simon's parents until, well, it was only a few months after.
Warte mal, das will ich nochmal wegen Parents. Ich habe gerade geschrieben.
No. I lost the baby. I had a miscarriage at 8 months. We carried on living at Simon's parents until, well, it was only a few months after.
Aha, und dann war was?
Yes.
Yes.
It was a shock to him. I mean, we never thought it was possible. I don't know what he... I mean, I hadn't decided whether to keep the baby. I wasn't really ready to talk to him about it.
Aber müsste er nicht mitbekommen haben, dass sie infertile war dadurch? Dachte ich. So, Baby war sogar 17, ach du Scheiße. Hide vielleicht. Okay. Nimm mal Hide.
Mother wanted me to grow my hair long, but I kept cutting it myself. I wanted to look like my reflection. She always had short hair when she was little. Mother would hide the scissors, but I would find a way. Cut it with a bread knife, something like that. My reflection would always leave her house and go on adventures, but I never could.
Reflection.
Mother taught me at home, and I had books and TV. Oh, TV was magical, but it was only on when it wanted to be, so I spent a lot of time reading books.
Es wäre so viel einfacher, wenn ich einfach die Nummer eingeben könnte. Move. So, das wäre jetzt echt interessant. Da schaue ich mir nochmal alle an, weil ich dann einfach so eine bessere Übersicht habe.
I inherited it from my parents, so it made sense to move back. Me and Simon. Felt like going back to old ways before the pregnancy. Reminded me of being a girl, the dollhouse in the attic, old things. We didn't sleep in my parents' bedroom for a long time. We decorated it as soon as we moved in, but it was another year before we started sleeping there.
Bis? Dance?
Yes, we did it as soon as we moved in, but it was another year before we started sleeping there.
Another year before we started sleeping there. Okay. Die sind zusammengezogen. Okay. Parents und dann zusammen. Moved in together. Okay. Das müsste ja dann auch der Punkt sein, wo er gestorben ist. Oder umgebracht wurde er. Weil ich glaube, dann werden noch die Parents irgendwie involviert.
No. The parents decided there would be a wedding. And after the wedding, Hannah moved in with his parents.
Okay.
There was no way I could follow. So we were separated again. I stayed in the attic. It was hard. It's like I suddenly didn't exist. I would sneak out, but in case anyone recognized me, I started wearing a wig.
Wig.
Hannah and I would meet up in the park. I was trying to get pregnant. But I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't do it with anyone we knew, so it was sex with strangers. Drunk guys I'd met in clubs, parks and alleyways. I was 17. It felt like I was being punished. But it was Hannah who had betrayed us.
Betrayed?
I had to stop when one of the guys gave me an STD. When we met up, it was disturbing. For the first time, my reflection, she didn't look like me. She was fatter, flushed. If anything, I was getting skinnier. I had hard to look sometimes. We talked about what to do. Was it time to become our own people? I mean, that seemed like the right thing to do, but neither of us wanted it. We agreed that her and Simon would get their own place as soon as possible, and then I could move in.
Mhm.
And that was the plan.
Vielleicht irgendwie, also Betrayed habe ich mir nochmal aufgeschrieben, vielleicht mal Own Place. Das wäre vielleicht noch was.
Then she told me she wanted to help more. She said I should move in with her. She would come clean with Simon about me. I was family, I couldn't have a baby in a bedsit. I told her I didn't want to tell Simon. Told her to wait for the time being.
Bedsit vielleicht nochmal. Vielleicht, weil ich meine, sie hatte auch gesagt, sie hatte irgendwie sich da was gesucht. Was war das hier?
The legal stuff was completed very quickly. Hannah moved back in with Simon. Eric gave Simon the week off to help with the move. He decorated, modernised wallpaper curtains. Hannah insists the attic be left as it was, dollhouse and all. Simon never went up there.
Back in. Back in. Das heißt, die sind irgendwie zusammengezogen und dann wieder voneinander weg?
When she went home, Simon had a birthday tea waiting. Afterwards, she told Simon about me, told him I was pregnant. She wanted me to move in with them, this sister he didn't know she had. She knew that instant. The look on his face. She
Knew what? Ah! Look, vielleicht. Verdammt. So, Move waren 5. Dann Hair als nächstes.
What kind of hairs?
Okay. Mhm.
You want me to play something? I'm not the world's greatest guitar player. Okay? Probably needs tuning. No. It's okay. How about a traditional ballad? Should we go to full string? Sisters came walking by the sea. Oh, the wind and the rain. The eldest one pushed the other one in. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. So they both had a love for the captain's son. Oh, the wind and the rain, but he only cared for the youngest one. Oh, the dreadful wind. Oh, the eldest envied her sister fair. Oh, the wind and the rain, with a pretty little face and her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. So she pushed her in and held her down. Oh, the wind and the rain watched her as she slowly drowned. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Oh, she floated up and she floated down. Oh, the wind and the rain floated till her ship
Okay, das klingt jetzt nach, sie hat ihre Schwester umgebracht. Aber in dem ganzen Ding wirkt es halt eher so, als hätte sie das nicht getan. Aber was ich noch interessant fand, dass der Captain Sun sich nur für eine interessiert hat. Von beiden. Wo war das? Warte mal, ich hatte doch Sing. Nein, verdammt. Bar. Verdammt, das ist schon wieder so viel. Ich schreibe Bar mal kurz auf. Ich wollte wissen, wo sie gesagt hat, dass sie in der Bar gesungen hat.
So I moved out. Got a small bedsit.
Ach so, das ist das.
Got my tattoo to mark the occasion. I was singing in a bar in the evenings. So I had some money, enough money to cover my rent. And I've been doing something similar ever since. I haven't put down any roots. I don't exist.
So der 3.7. Okay, das heißt, er war verheiratet mit Hannah. Date schreibe ich nochmal auf das. Verdammt. War das hier, wo sie von ihm erzählt hat?
He saw me singing one of my shows. Pure chance. Not sure I remember what he was even doing there. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar and he came over and we got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously I knew who he was. But he didn't know who I was. He was fascinated by the likeness. He guessed my name from my tattoo. Told me it was a palindrome, like that would impress me. I enjoyed talking to him. It was amazing to be able to sit and interact and talk to him after all this time. He didn't tell me he was married. I'm not sure what he was thinking. He later told me it was like he was dreaming. A waking dream.
Das muss aber dann eigentlich gewesen sein, bevor Hannah wollte, dass Eve einzieht, weil dann müsste er davon wissen. Aber dann hätte er davon wissen müssen. Verstehe ich nicht. Oder er hat es einfach nicht irgendwie... Wobei, sie hat ja nur gesagt, eine Schwester, kein Twin. Das ist ja wieder was anderes. Warte mal. 5 Stück. Okay, next.
Are you sure? What would he be doing in Oxford if there was no conference?
Oxford?
I remember calling him. He said it was boring and he spent most of the time at the bar.
Oxford, also.
Nothing else happened that night. We talked, then I said goodbye. Then next week I was singing in the bar again and there he was. And again the next week. He offered to buy me a meal. I told him I had already eaten. And so we got chips and ate them on the beach instead. When we said goodbye, he asked me to kiss him. Romantic.
Beach vielleicht noch? A Beach. Show? Vielleicht Show. So, das noch?
No. I told her it was one of my boyfriends, someone I had met in the bar. I think she was happy. But I could tell she was thinking, why couldn't it happen to her and Simon? They were the ones with the real life. Why not them?
Was Betrayal? Cheating vielleicht? Cheating? Affair. Affair war noch. Ich weiß nicht, ob ich das schon hatte. Das sind noch so viele Worte. Ich war eigentlich bei H, ne? Verdammt. Warte mal, guck ich gerade nochmal. War ich da durch? Ich war durch, okay. Dann Elite. Nope. Watch. Aha. Das waren jetzt 5.
I guess you could call it that, but we were both happy to get married. It was a beautiful wedding. We had our first dance to Come Back and Stay. I'm not sure if that's a good wedding song, but I loved it. I chose it. I mean, it was genuinely our first dance. We'd never danced together before. It was probably awful to watch, but I enjoyed it. It felt like it was just me and Simon for that moment. Just the two of us.
Mhm.
It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We knew we had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather than have it linger. Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it. The watch, that was my touch, to make sure the alibi stuck.
Okay. Das heißt aber, die haben zusammen sich dafür entschieden, den zu verstecken. Body habe ich schon. Alibi vielleicht noch. Ja. Watch, dann Code. Da.
Okay.
2 Wasser getrunken oder Kaffee oder was auch immer.
I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I had to park down the end of the road. Walked up, knocked on the door, no answer. I took my keys out of my bag and unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. You can tell because the key doesn't turn when you try to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes in the shoe rack. I shouted out. I walked straight into the kitchen because he usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper, but he wasn't there. I touched the kettle, it was cold. I looked quickly in the living room, nothing. So I walked upstairs to the bedroom and he wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. I had a shower. The phone rang whilst I was in the shower. I didn't answer it. I think it was Eric. Then I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, though I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. This time I spoke to him. Then I called Doug and Eleanor. And then I decided to come and see you. That enough?
30.06. Aber wieso? Ich habe für den 3.7., wo sie das weiße Zeug trägt, das ist jetzt nicht hier dabei, Eve dran stehen. Weil sie sagt, Mother called me Eve. Wobei, das kann ja auch ein Aus Versehen gewesen sein. Aber sie spricht immer so in, ne? Das müsste dann eigentlich doch Hannah sein. Aber sie... 1.7.
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I parked down the end of the road. I walked up to the house. I knocked on the door. No answer. I took my keys out of my bag, unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. I could tell because the key wouldn't turn when I tried to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on a peg. I couldn't see his shoes on the shoe rack. I shouted out for him. I walked straight into the kitchen. He usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper. He wasn't there. I touched the kettle. It was cold. I looked quickly into the living room. Nothing. I walked upstairs to the bedroom. He wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. Then I had a shower. Whilst I was in the shower, the phone rang. I think it was Eric, his boss. I didn't answer it. Then I came out and I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, but I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. I spoke to him. Then I called Simon's parents. And then I decided to come and see you. That enough?
Das ist immer das genau gleiche. Okay, 30.06. und 1.07. Genau, 30.06. habe ich mir Eve markiert. Und das wäre Hannah. Das ist Eve. Eve hat kein Tattoo. Müsste das eigentlich Hannah sein? Aha, warum ist denn das eigentlich Hannah? Ich mache mal ein großes Haar da drüber. 30.06. ist Eve. Verdammt. Wobei, sie hat ja auch... Nee, wobei, das kann ja auch ein Problem sein einfach. Mein Gedanke war gerade wegen diesem Lie-Detektor-Test. Da hat sie auch gesagt, mein Name ist Hannah und dann... oh, sorry. Aber eigentlich schwierig. Aber ich würde auf jeden Fall sagen, dass 30.06. und 1.07. nicht die gleiche Person ist. 1.07. hat ein Tattoo. 3.07. hat sie gesagt, hat sie auch ihr Tattoo bekommen. Aber kann mich ja nicht nur auf die Aussagen verlassen, weil das ist ja offensichtlich ein Problem. Kavalier. Das ist nur das Auto. Van vielleicht? Nö. Kies. Aha. 27. Das müsste auch Eve sein. Müsste eigentlich.
Yes. I always pull it shut and then lock the bigger lock with the key.
Okay. Sie schließt immer ab.
No, I don't think it was. I turned the key, but it was already unlocked.
Verdammt. Okay. Visa. Ach, nicht Isa. Visa. Das ist nur das eine. Cash. Nein. Diane. Aha. 25. 25. kann nicht Hannah sein. Ich habe hier für Hannah stehen. Für 25. Aber sie hat kein Tattoo. Das heißt, kein Tattoo müsste eigentlich Eve sein.
Diane is really nice. She helps out with the glaziers, organises the Christmas party, that sort of thing. They have 2 kids, really sweet kids. She used to look out for me when I worked there.
Mhm.
I mean, not really. He would go to the pub. He had his drinking buddies there, but no one ever really came back to the house. Sometimes Eric, his boss, and his wife would come over for dinner. That would be us returning the favour. Diane is a really good cook, into her trendy ingredients. And the last time Simon cooked something off MasterChef, he got the recipe off CFAX, and I did my Lloyd Grossman bit, commenting from the sidelines. I had to find fennel from the supermarket. Have you ever eaten fennel?
Das ist, ich weiß nicht, was die Interviewer da gemacht haben, aber dass sie die halt auch hier Gitarre haben spielen lassen, ist schon ein bisschen weird. So. 5. Okay.
Simon and Eric arguing? No, I can't imagine they'd be arguing. They get on so well. Unless it was something to do with work. Maybe Simon was being too much of a perfectionist. But I don't know. You should ask Diane.
Ich würde sehr gerne Diane befragen, aber gut. Groß.
Bruce? Oh, yeah, no, it's nothing. I was going through the top cupboard in my kitchen and the chair slipped and I kind of hit the door with my face. Yeah, like hell.
Sehe ich gar nicht richtig. Bruce ist aber linke Seite Chit-Chat, was? Oh man. Boss when you're ready. Okay. Ja. Warte mal. Jetzt bin ich raus, verdammt. Erzähl noch mal, Mama. Ach genau.
Oh, yeah, no, it's
25.06. Da habe ich jetzt gerade Hannah. Und da schreibe ich auf Bruce, aber linke Seite. Ihre linke. Left. Ich meine nämlich, wo sie sagte, das andere Video mit Bruce, mit dem blauen Fleck, da hat sie sich an die rechte Backe gefasst oder sowas. Gucken wir nochmal.
the bruise.
Ja.
I have a really fast metabolism, so stuff like that just comes and goes.
So, 25 und 27 ist auf jeden Fall nicht das gleiche.
I don't know if there's much more that I can tell you that I haven't already told the other policemen. I found the body.
Okay. Das passt auf jeden Fall schon mal. Eve ist pregnant. An dem Tag, 27. Und 27 und 25 ist nicht das gleiche. Das heißt, 25. ist Hannah. Hannah aber kein Tattoo. Verdammt. Warum? Fuck. Ich kann ihn nicht auseinanderhalten.
If one of us got hurt, the other one would have to be hurt too. A grazed knee, a bruise. When I lost my tooth first, we had to pull our Hannah's to match. Once, I slept with a boy who was seeing another girl. The girlfriend came up to Hannah the next day and punched her in the face, gave her a huge black eye. That night, she had to do the same to me. And she almost went too far. I couldn't see out of that eye for days. She snapped a frozen piece up for me from the kitchen. So much of our bodies was synchronized anyway. We started our period on the same day. All our childhood diseases, stomach bugs, nits.
Synchronized vielleicht? Synchronized.
Differences? She's a better driver than me. She passed the test for us. I tried to take it and nearly crashed the car. Learned that you can't rely on confidence to get you through everything. She is the shy one. She was especially shy around boys.
Shy.
If Hannah liked a boy, I would have to pursue him.
Jetzt ist es wieder Eve, oder
It was
was?
that way with Carl. Hannah met him first. She had such a crush. I let him take my virginity after a night that his band had played at. It got difficult. When I was with Carl, we would have sex, but Hannah couldn't let him see she was a virgin. She had lots of excuses. After a while, we decided that I should take Hannah's virginity. It's not that different to a bruise, pulling a tooth, a graze. We used a hairbrush. After that, we took it in turns, though I was always the one who seduced the boys. Until Simon.
Shy, das wäre Hannah wäre dann die. Warte mal.
Differences? Line.
Da.
She is the shy one. She was especially shy around boys. If Hannah liked a boy, I would have to pursue him.
Okay, Hannah ist shy. Hatte schon mal irgendwer gesagt, deshalb nur mal reingucken gleich.
This was about 9. I went round and she was waiting for me. She was furious and so angry, the kind of anger you can only have towards yourself. We screamed at each other, argued, cried, we fought. I hit her back, left a bruise. I had my wig on from performing, she tore it off. Eventually, we grew tired of fighting and I left.
Habe ich Fight schon aufgeschrieben? Ich glaube nicht, das könnte ich mal noch dazu packen. Wäre sonst noch interessant. So, Bruce, das waren auch nur die 5. Buddy. Das da.
His body did not real. His throat. It looked like his throat had been cut. And I didn't see his glasses. Has these thick glasses.
Ich schreibe hier auch mal auf.
It doesn't always wear.
Na gut.
Can you imagine? I tried to get pregnant too, but it didn't happen. I slept with so many boys, men. My body refused. I think my period stopped because hers had. I was pretty. I mean, how could we stay the same now? I felt like Hannah had really fucked things up. Set us down separate paths. We had become different.
Different wäre vielleicht noch was. So. Buddy ist durch. Das war 6. Birthday.
Yes, that's my birthday. Not one of the big ones, but I guess you can see that.
Not one of the big ones? What?
A week or so ago. It would have been the Saturday before my birthday. You know, I get like that on the weekends, have a lie-in, then want to get up and blitz the house.
Das wird mir jetzt alle nicht so weiter, würde ich behaupten. 9 Stück. So. Ja.
Then my parents died. It was the worst year of my life. A miscarriage and then my parents.
Okay. Das bestätigt auf jeden Fall immer noch mal, dass das die richtige Person ist für mich.
Yeah. I mean, I was infertile. Thought I was. They told me I was infertile after the miscarriage because of complications.
Was? Aber das ist doch Hannah. Warum? Ich dachte, das ist Eve. Hannah? Fragezeichen. Aber das ist halt, weiß ich nicht, das ist die Aussage. Glasgow. Da.
Yes. I got to Glasgow, I was exhausted, so I pulled over and slept in the car. I woke up because a rubbish truck went past. I got some petrol, bought a coffee and a pastry, tried calling someone from the payphone, and then
Was?
headed back.
Aber.
I got in the car and I drove. I just kept driving north. Just kept going, just wanted to get as far away as I could. When I finally stopped, I was all the way up in Glasgow. I was so tired. I just had to sleep.
So, was war das?
Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year. It was a wedding anniversary gift. Steel. It would have been Diane who chose it. She has really nice taste. That time, you must eliminate me. I was in Glasgow then.
Ich meine, sie hatte noch mal irgendwas erzählt, von wegen, dass sie Hannah angerufen hat. Ich schreibe nochmal Call oder Calling. Und bei dem anderen hat sie eben gesagt, sie hat Simon angerufen.
When I arrived in Glasgow, I was exhausted. The streets were empty. I was driving badly. And I hit a taxi. Not a big crash, just paintwork. The guy was so pissed off because I didn't have a driving license on me. But when I told him I was pregnant, he made sure I got to the hospital so they could check me out. It was fine. The hospital must have details when I was looked at. There's a scratch on the car. No, I don't think so. Glasgow was deserted that early in the morning.
Also early, okay. Dann ist sie 8 Uhr abends los und 8 Uhr... Hä? Die ist abends los, weil sie abends sich gekloppt haben. Morgens um 3 war sie wieder zu Hause. 27. Glasgow, okay. So, dann nächstes ist Lie Detector.
Yes, I'll take a lie detector test.
Denn das?
I've never taken a lie detector test before. Does it really work? My name. That was the only question I failed. Your lie detector works.
Fuck. Okay. Das heißt, die hat wirklich gelogen. Warte mal. Hannah. Da.
Yes, my name is Hannah Smith. Oh, shit. Sorry.
Okay, das heißt, es ist Eve. Es ist wirklich Eve. Okay. Aber wieso hat Eve jetzt ein Tattoo? Das passt doch gar nicht. Ah. Verdammt. Was kann ich mich da überhaupt noch verlassen? So gar nichts gefühlt. Page. Das ist nur das. Rules. Da ist noch was.
Okay. She's being chased. They're trying to catch her because she did something bad. I guess she broke the rules. Or maybe they think she did something bad. Maybe it wasn't her fault. She looks scared, not guilty. Maybe it was mistaken identity. Did they catch her there? I don't know.
Mistaken Identity. Vielleicht auch einzeln nochmal.
Hannah was so smitten with Simon. She started getting jealous, didn't want to share. Even the first date. We went to see Tom Cruise at the Old Odeon. We both went, kept changing places in the toilet. We only had one best dress, so we had to keep swapping clothes. Must have thought we had terrible bladder problems. The next date, it was my turn. At the end, I let him kiss me, but that was it. We didn't want another Carl in our hands, and the Ouija board had said to hold back. After that, it was Hannah's turn, and she slept with him. Broke the rules. Deliberately broke the rules. She wanted to be the first to sleep with him. I mean, that's when she got pregnant. From that one time.
Mhm. Das ist ein bisschen blöd. Also das muss Eve sein, so oft wie sie über Hannah redet. Aber dann hat sie vielleicht einfach ein anderes Tattoo. Vielleicht hat sie ein Tattoo mit einem Namen drauf? Weil Hannah hatte ein Tattoo mit einem, was war das, ein Affe? Nicht ein Affe. Schlange und ein Apfel. Apfel war das. Und sie müsste ein Tattoo mit ihrem Namen haben, weil das ja auch so ein Palindrom ist.
It lasted about 6 months. I tried to carry on, but everything was different. Hannah insisted I not pretend to be her around Simon, let alone sleep with him. We didn't share him like the others. The rules had changed. Me living in the attic had become weird, in a way it hadn't been before.
Mhm. So, Rules sind wir durch. 4 Stück. Switch. Gar nicht, okay. Wedding. Da will ich mal kurz durchskippen.
I guess you could call it that, but
Nee, ging mir um den Teil, wo sie irgendwas von der Gunshot Wedding erzählt hat. Nö.
Ja.
Da. Shotgun
yeah,
Wedding.
we were 17. It was a nice wedding, people said. Simon looked very handsome in the photos. His parents paid for everything, but he's an only child, so it was important to them. It was what they called a shotgun wedding, but if you looked at the photos, you couldn't tell. The dress was beautiful. It looked like Princess Diana's. The train wasn't quite as long, though. There's a great photo of the bridesmaid helping to carry it out of the car.
Das klingt halt so, als wäre sie nicht selber da gewesen. Aber es war halt Hannah. Und sie war eigentlich die
No.
die
The parents
geheiratet hat.
decided there would be a wedding. And after the wedding, Hannah moved in with his parents. There was no way I could follow. So we were separated again. I stayed in the attic. It was hard. It's like I suddenly didn't exist. I would sneak out, but in case anyone recognized me, I started wearing a wig. Hannah and I would meet up in the park. I was trying to get pregnant. But I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't do it with anyone we knew, so it was...
Das war das, wo die 17 waren. Genau. Wo sie schwanger geworden ist und dann quasi sie auch automatisch schwanger werden wollte. Nehme ich mal an. Oh, mir hatte ich das jetzt schon. Home. Home.
At the time they said it was poison, food poisoning. I mean, I felt so guilty. If I'd still been at home, maybe I could have done something. I didn't.
Okay. Da spricht sie auch über Food Poisoning und ich meine, das hat sie schon mal erwähnt, aber da klingt sie jetzt ein bisschen trauriger, ehrlich gesagt. Deshalb glaube ich schon, dass das Hannah ist, weil Hannah ist ja mit den Eltern aufgewachsen und Eve eben nicht.
I mean, I don't know. Something must have happened to him on his way home. He could be hurt. I mean, why hasn't he phoned? I don't know.
Okay. Home. Hatte ich noch irgendwas mit Takeaway? Nö, nur das eine. Coffee. Aber was war das mit dem Present?
A black coffee, thanks. No sugar. Sweet enough as it is.
18. Das war, glaube ich, auch Hannah. Ich schreibe mal dazu Black Coffee. Black Coffee. So. Gar nicht so schlecht. Der Tag.
I've had enough coffee for today, thanks. Glass of water.
Mhm.
Coffee, I guess. Milk and sugar.
Aha. So. Das ist jetzt der 18. und das ist der 2. Beim 2. habe ich noch gar nichts drinstehen an Namen. Das muss aber dann Eve sein. Weil Hannah not same as 18th. Okay, das heißt, der 2.7. und der 18.6. sind auf jeden Fall 2 verschiedene Personen. Ja. Kaffee sagt schon viel aus. Scheinbar. So, Ring. Ring, Ring, Ring. Ah, vielleicht sagst du was.
No. No, he wasn't wearing his wedding ring.
He. And you? Toll. Ja, das kann ich dann direkt weglassen. Throat. Na, ja, fast. Throat. So.
On his throat. How?
30.
Like I said before, it was 3, something like that. I walked in, saw Simon. He was on the floor of the living room. His throat had been cut. There was a lot of blood. He was dead.
Okay. So, war das, wo sie das erzählt hatte?
Like I said before, it was 3.
Nee, da war das da. Nee, das kann eigentlich nicht gewesen sein.
His body.
Achso.
Dinner meal. His throat. It doesn't always work.
Aber sie hatte doch schon mal über das Zeug gesprochen. Wie war das
Her
da?
story is that she'd waited for him to come back.
Achso, das war das.
She put on my wig, some of my clothes, pretended to be me. They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present. Another mirror. Just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror, They argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open. She'd only meant to scare him off.
Das hatte ich beim ersten Mal nicht verstanden, warum die das gemacht haben. Pretend könnte ich mal noch dazu packen, weil das muss wahrscheinlich dann gewesen sein, als Simon Eve beim Singen gesehen hat und sich so ein bisschen an die rangemacht hat. Und vielleicht hat sie ihrer Schwester davon erzählt. Und dann haben die irgendwie getauscht. Ist jetzt so meine Idee. Cut, nichts Neues. 7 Argument. Da, oh ja, einiges Neues. Krass. Erzähl doch mal.
No. I think he spoke to Helen. She said he was upset about her argument, but I'm not sure what else he said.
Helen könnte ich noch anpacken.
He likes blondes.
Helen und blond. Warte mal, hatte sie dann nicht eine blonde Perücke? Aber das kriege ich heraus, schon weil ich Perücke eintrage. Das ist aber noch ein bisschen hin.
There's no couple stuff. Stupid argument. Nothing specific. No one knows how to push your buttons better than those you're close to.
Ums Baby ging's, glaube ich, hatte sie gesagt.
No. I mean, yes, we have arguments, but he never runs off. He always comes back. We make up. It's always that way.
Mhm.
Yes. He left after the argument. It was about 8 o'clock.
Mhm. 25. Hannah sagt, genau. Das müsste dann Eve sein. Eve ist weggefahren, ja. Das passt soweit. Bin schon froh, wenn das überhaupt passt. 9 Entries. Exist. 1.
This other person doesn't exist. I don't know what the blonde wig is, but it could be anything. Have you looked at the cat flap?
Cat Flap? Ach so. Aber das macht von der Katze macht ja gar keinen Sinn. Das macht ja gar keinen Sinn. Glacier. Ist da irgendwas neu? Oh ja. Okay.
A mobile phone? Yeah. Well, they have one for the glaciers, but it's only for work. I can't remember the number. It's in the kitchen. I saw it plugged into its charging cradle.
Mhm.
I did. Well, we met when we were 17, both working at the glaciers.
First meeting. First. Ich mache mir da eine Notiz zu. Said already. So. Das heißt, da hat sie irgendwas gesagt, was sie am 18. schon mal erwähnt hat, vielleicht. Aber das müsste dann die gleiche Person sein. Ich habe beim 25. und beim 18. das gleiche. Fuck.
No. Everyone loved Simon. He's a glazier. He doesn't have much money. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Mein Money wäre auch noch ein Punkt. Ich komme gar nicht hinterher. So, Gläser habe ich. 7. Fairy Tale. Ich weiß nicht, ob zusammen oder so geht.
Sorry. The picture, the way it's drawn, just reminded me of the books we used to read as children. I read those fairy tales over and over, and they were so real to me. Rapunzel was my favourite. My brain is just full of it. Are any of these in colour?
Ich schreibe mal noch Rapunzel und Book auf. Vielleicht hilft mir das noch.
Simon never cheated on me. He
Mhm.
was devoted to me. And I was devoted to him.
Natürlich.
Nothing in life is easy. We were good to each other. Life isn't a fairy tale. I did what we can.
Mhm.
Well, she wasn't my real mother, but she raised me. Do you want to hear the story? It's a real life fairy tale.
Natürlich. So, das waren auch 7 Stück. So, jetzt Mirror. Da haben wir auch schon 11 Stück. Mhm.
The mirror. I can't remember. I put it somewhere safe. Upstairs, I think. Haven't looked at it since. Silverleaf? No. He normally silvers them properly. This mirror, it's supposed to look antique. The reflection isn't as good. It's the perfect mirror for someone who doesn't like to look at their own reflection.
Okay. K. Da war auch noch einige.
I wasn't in the house all of Friday night. After the argument, after Simon left, I left too. I was upset and I wanted to get away. So I took the car.
Okay. Das bestätigt ja nochmal, dass sie nach Glasgow gefahren ist.
I left the next day, Saturday. I slept for a few hours in the car. And when I woke up, I came straight back. Simon wasn't returning my calls and I wanted to try and wake up. I got back to the house and Simon wasn't there. And Excuse me.
Oh.
Is that okay?
Okay. Genau, weil pregnant.
Yeah. I pulled over and slept in the car. This was just by the side of the road. I was exhausted.
Ich habe mich schon gefragt, warum sie so oft ihren Mund berührt, aber das ist natürlich klar. Palindrome. Das waren die 2 Male, okay. Dream vielleicht. Da ist nochmal was.
When beautiful people died, we always felt like it was a sign. You remember Princess Grace? Grace Kelly? She died in a car crash the year before we met Simon. We used a Ouija board to speak to her, and that gave us the power to find him. That's what we thought then. That people who died tragically leave some kind of magic behind. We used to share dreams. We used to wake up and write them down in our diaries immediately and compare them.
Mhm. Okay. Das waren jetzt nur 2 Boxes. Das müssten ja die sein, die sie unten gefunden hat im Keller. Das passt. Bags. Ist da mehr als das eine? Ja. Sag ja.
The whole thing was wrong. The bags, I think they were from our kitchen. You could probably check that. We never go into the cellar. It's just a place we put things we don't need. Dad used to grow mushrooms there. The bags were taped up. I think it was parcel tape. I think it was ours.
Tape vielleicht noch. So, wie sieht's hier aus? Schon ganz gut. Bags habe ich, das waren 5 und dann Seller. Ist dann noch was Neues? Ja.
Well, fine, considering. I got back into the house today, and that was weird, knowing your people had been there through my things. It's like I'd been burgled. Only worse, obviously. I don't know. I haven't looked in the cellar yet. They sent a cleaner in. As good as new, he said. But they had to throw some stuff out. Couldn't get the blood out. And I'm still waiting to hear from the coroner so we can get a date set for the funeral. It's going to be a cremation. So...
Seller 4. Ich habe nicht das Gefühl, dass irgendeine von beiden irgendwie so ein bisschen traurig drum ist. Ehrlich gesagt. Mushroom. Yes.
I was living in the attic. It was a very hard time. I was depressed. Was still pretty sick of the STD. And I came down one morning and they were dead. They were in bed and both had been sick. They'd thrown up a lot. And I slept through it. The police said it was the mushrooms they ate. Dad was a mushroom expert. I mean, he used to take us picking with him and he taught us how to recognize them. And there's no way you would have picked dead caps. But the police believe that's what happened. They never even looked in the attic.
Okay, ich habe mal Deathcaps mit aufgeschrieben. Ich weiß nicht, ob das... Also es klingt halt so, als hätte sie die irgendwie vergiftet. So, wie sie so da rumdruckst. Dritter, Parents. Kennen wir schon alles. 18 Stück, ey. Gut, Wind and Rain. Ich glaube, da kommt nicht mehr... Ach, verdammt, Wind. Genau. Wind and Rain. Zum Glück nicht. War ein bisschen schwierig zu ertragen. Rehearsed. Bei welchem war das? 2.7.
Rehearsed? You ask me the same question, you'll get the same answer. Is that your evidence? Of course I thought about what happened then. It's all I've thought about. My husband is dead.
Okay. Vom 2.7. habe ich verdammt wenig, habe ich das Gefühl. Oder wenig, was ich aufschreiben wollte. Ein Fahrschein. Da ist noch was Neues. So.
I think it was that time, the first time at the house, in his bed, that I got pregnant. Amazing, right? This fucking magic sperm. And they say lightning doesn't strike twice. I didn't tell him. I missed 3 periods. Had pretty irregular periods anyway, but 3. I had always thought we were infertile.
We?
Both of us. I didn't tell him. Just waited. Hannah and I were meeting for our birthday and I told her because I thought she would be happy for us both. I think she was.
Klang jetzt aber nicht so. nicht unbedingt. So, Hospital.
Our past the hospital.
Wow.
I don't see how it's hard. We've established I was in Glasgow when he was killed. We've spoken with the hospital.
Das wäre jetzt am 2.7. Ja. Okay, das sind aber beides Eve, so wie es aussieht. Sickness. Das ist nur das eine, okay. 1. Reflection. Okay.
Yes. The first time we saw each other, it was strange. We both realised at the same moment, I think. We must have seen each other before, but there was this instant when we first realised it wasn't a reflection. The reflection was staring back. I think I was 5. It was my birthday. My reflection was wearing a party hat and waving. I knew what party hats were from books. And it suddenly occurred to me, today must be my birthday. I waved back and we just spent ages waving at each other and copying each other's movements.
Habe ich überhaupt schon nach Twin gesucht? Ich glaube nicht, ne? Ich suche gerade meine Liste durch, aber ich glaube noch nicht.
I wanted to see my reflection. I thought that if I touched her, something would happen. We would become one. One girl. The fairy tale was over, the witch was dead, and I'd be restored to my rightful place.
Mhm. Ist ja wohl nicht so gelaufen. Separated. Okay. Aber mit A wahrscheinlich, ne? Ich schreib's immer falsch. Unfassbar. Wig. Das wäre interessant. Habe ich da noch blond? Ich schreibe mal blond noch. Oder habe ich hier blond stehen? Helen blond. Okay. Kommt später nochmal.
A wig? You mean... What type of wig?
Mhm.
No, I've never worn a wig. What kind of wig?
Okay, das ist nur das. Dann suche ich aber nachher trotzdem nochmal nur nach blond. Oder ach komm, ich mache das jetzt einmal so. Und dann einmal so. Nur mal checken. Okay. Wie viel waren das jetzt? Das sind aber auch 6, okay. Ja gut, Betrayed hatte sie erwähnt. Ach, schade, nur das eine. Place. Aha.
That should eliminate me as a suspect. If I was in Glasgow, can't be in 2 places at once.
So.
Yes, yeah. I would have cleaned them. I changed the sheets too. With the fingerprints in all those places.
Fingerprints. Ja, Prints. So. Wo hatten die denn? Da, am 27. hatten die den gefunden. Okay, das heißt, das war kurz danach. Ich wollte aber eigentlich... Hier. Das ist aber nichts Neues. Alles klar. 2. Bedsit. Auch nicht. Look. Dachte ich mir schon. Aber 11 ist gar nicht mal so viel, gar nicht mal so, doch, so viel wie ich dachte. Ich dachte eigentlich, da kommt mehr. Dates. Okay. Das nicht. Oxford. Aha.
There was a conference. Something to do with double glazing in Oxford? It was supposed to be a secret. Just because Simon is dead, it doesn't mean I have to give up all his secrets. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to Simon. No one murdered my husband because he cheated his expenses for a romantic weekend in Oxford.
Okay. War das vielleicht das mit ihr? Also mit Eve? Beach. Ich schreibe einfach mal Weekend auf, ganz ehrlich. Just in case. So, Show ist... Nee. 2 Cheat. So.
Mum and Dad never knew what was going on. Got so good at it. We were so in sync that we'd use each other to cheat. If one of us had a hangover, the other one would go to school. Whoever was best at a subject would sit the exam. There were lots of differences between us. Some things one is better than the other at.
Da kam wahrscheinlich dann danach das mit den Differences. Cheating vielleicht nochmal separat? Nein. Okay. So 1, dann Affair. Aha.
An affair? Simon wasn't having an affair.
Natürlich nicht.
You're reaching here. Oh, I don't know why. No, I've never cheated on anyone. I've never taken anything from anyone. Simon is dead. But I have my baby to care for. Why are you trying to make me sad? Why are you so obsessed with sex and affairs?
Das könnte ich theoretisch auch nochmal...
You cheated on your wife. Is this your thing?
So, nach Affair kommt Alibi. Nö. Sync. Organized. So. Nein. Shy.
Yeah, when I was at school. I worked part-time in the front shop. It was sort of an extended family thing. My dad used to work there, my mum worked there before I was born. I took care of paperwork, filing, typing out invoices, that kind of thing. It was a good job for a girl back then. I didn't work a till or anything though. I was quite shy, so I wouldn't have liked to have worked a till.
Welches war das?
No, he was as shy as me.
Ja,
I
das meinte ich.
asked a friend to ask him out for me.
A friend, ja?
We had our first date at the Odeon in North End. We went to see Risky Business. I had on my one best dress. Simon paid. He bought me a whisper, and I was worried about getting chocolate on my teeth.
Okay, das war das Date von den beiden, wo sie ja sich abgewechselt haben. Karl. Hey. Zeig mal her.
Was he my first? No need to be so coy. No, he wasn't my first. That would have been Carl. He was a local boy in a band. He was a bit of a shit. But he was sexy. We were 15.
Aber eigentlich war das ja ihre Schwester, oder?
No, I was 15. Carl was older.
Ah, okay,
17.
we were 15. Ja, natürlich.
I was really into him, regardless of how he actually behaved. Lots of drunken teenage sex. We did it in a church once. It's stupid. So he got tired of us and we split up after about 6 months. It was sad. But those early experiences, they help you realise who's really important to you, you know? Family.
Okay. Also ihre Schwester ist eigentlich auf jeden Fall das Wichtigste.
So, Carl fucked off, and then there were other boys here and there, and then Simon.
Mhm. Okay. Fight. Irgendwas Neues? Nein. Fighting vielleicht? Ist das ein Unterschied? Ja, aber nein. Classes. Da.
Look, on his clothes, that would make sense. He made it. By hand. I mean, he brushes the silver onto the glass. It's not how they make mirrors these days. I mean, he made the mirror. And he gave it to me.
Warte mal, ich will gerade nochmal Present. Welches war das?
It wasn't the present so much. It was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror. A nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story. He made it specially for me.
Wo hatte sie gesagt, dass sie das nicht so mochte?
It was my birthday, like you said.
Das war
We
das.
were going to have a meal at home. We had our meal. He gave me his present. I guess I didn't like the present.
Das war 25. Das ist Hannah. Genau, weil sie, glaube ich, sich als Dingens gerade ausgibt in dem Moment. Als Eve. Und das Geschenk dann erhalten hat, glaube ich. Ich dachte eigentlich, das war separat. Aber scheinbar nicht. Glas, das hatte ich jetzt. Different. Differences. Nee. Call. Warte mal, das will ich gerade noch
I
mal.
guess you could call it that, but we were both happy to get married. It was a beautiful wedding.
Okay, das war es nicht. Ich wollte wissen, wer. Sie hat doch gesagt, die Suru hat wen angerufen.
I left the next day, Saturday. I slept for a few hours in the car. When I woke up, I came straight back. Simon wasn't returning my calls and I wanted to try and make up. I got back to the house and Simon wasn't there. And
Okay. Ich weiß nicht, wo es war.
a good mother. I was young, but I would have been a good mother. She was a girl, by the way, the baby. We were going to call her Sarah.
Sarah?
Simon wanted to call her Ava after his nana, but I didn't want her to have a symmetrical name.
Ah. Ich schreibe mal beide Namen auf.
She sent him out the house, kicked him out, called me up, crying, and I went round. I guess I had a feeling I could hear something was wrong in her voice, but I wasn't sure what it was. She called me sister on the phone. She never calls me that.
Sister, huh? Sister. So. Calling wollte ich noch gucken. Was war denn das? Wo war denn das? Könnte bei Glasgow gewesen sein. Identity. Okay, da brauche ich nicht weiter durchgucken. Ouija. Schreibt man das so? Ja. Das ist auch Odeon. Das haben wir. Impotent. Da hat sie ja gesagt, dass die Familie da am wichtigsten ist. Pretend. Da.
Okay, you got me. I'll confess. We were there. It was a dirty weekend. Simon was going to expense it, pretend it was a business trip. I used a made-up name. We stayed at the hotel, had room service, didn't leave the room, had a great view of the river, and you could hear the church bells. Like you said, it was very romantic.
Warte mal. Hä? Wieso ist denn das jetzt? Warum ist das Henna? Verdammt. Okay. Helen? Was Neues? Nein. Blond hatte ich schon. Meeting. Meet. First. Okay. Money. Doch. So. Nein! Das ist kein Y. Das ist ein Y. Das ist nice.
Sure, I think. I do all the bills and paperwork and handle all the money stuff, so it should be easy for me to find. Do you want them dropped off to you?
Dropped off was? Paperwork? Bills vielleicht? Bills? Paperwork? Records könnte vielleicht noch was sein. Telefon. Das wäre vielleicht noch was.
If you put me on, you've been framed. I want the money.
Sehr lustig, die Frau. Book. Ah, doch noch was Neues. Hätte ich nie gedacht.
I hoover, I dust every week. Maybe less. I once asked Eleanor how often I should dust, and she said, if people ask, tell them you do it once a week, but every few weeks is okay. I think she was just trying to make me feel better. I mean, when I was there, she was hoovering every day.
Warte mal kurz.
Maybe less. I once asked Eleanor how often I should dust, and she said, if people ask, tell them you do it once a week, but every few weeks is okay. I think she was just trying to make me feel better. I mean, when I was there, she was hoovering every day. You know, ran an ordered house. You know how that generation is, putting on a brave front.
Ich glaube, Dan hieß der Mann. Dan?
She has secret stashes of cigarettes. Doug doesn't even know she smokes. When I was there, I saw her. She has these sort of porcelain vases, ornamental, next to the Reader's Digest books. Cigarettes inside. And she still has them. I mean, last time I was there, I looked in a vase. There was a fresh pack. I mean, all those years of marriage, and she still has a secret like that.
Ja, Mensch. Burg. Rapunzel. Ey, echt noch was Neues? Krass.
Did I pass? Sorry, I messed it up with all that Rapunzel stuff. Do you need me to do that card again?
Card? Ich brauche eine neue Seite. So, Card. So, Rapunzel haben wir. Tape. Nicht, okay. Death Caps. Vielleicht nur Death? Ah, schade. Twin. Okay.
Twins?
2.7.
Really? Are you really asking me that question?
Okay, das heißt, da sind sie dann selber drauf gekommen.
Are you out of your mind? Twins?
Das war wahrscheinlich zu dem gleichen Zeitpunkt, wo die gesagt haben, dass es rehearsed war. Würde zumindest zeitlich passen. So. Fingerprint. So. Ey.
Fine. I've never had my fingerprints taken before. I once put my hand on the oven. Fingerprints.
Warte mal, das ist 25. und 30. 25. und 30. Das ist unterschiedlicher.
Could they have been my parents' fingerprints? I'm not sure how long they last for, but is that possible?
So funktionieren Fingerprints nicht. Eve.
Really? Go on then. Take the cup. Run your fingerprints. They'll match.
Dang. Ich weiß nicht, ob DNA ist glaube ich, zu der Zeit noch gar nicht so ein Ding gewesen, oder? Wann fing das an? Boah, weiß ich gar nicht mehr. Fingerprint, Secret. Oh, doch noch.
When we weren't together, we'd send secret messages by tapping out a code that we'd learned from a book. The knock code. Something prisoners of war would use. We'd tap them out on radiator pipes or the attic floor.
Knock.
Dad thought we had mice, but they couldn't find any. Bought a cat anyway.
Okay. Warte mal, wie hieß dieses Ding? Knock Code. Code, die könnte man theoretisch auch separat nochmal suchen. Jetzt weiß ich natürlich nicht, was das bedeutet, aber das ist ja halb so wild. Secret Weekend. Ah, da habe ich schon alle. Sex. Was Neues? Ja, okay.
Really? You're going to ask me about my sex life? I mean, isn't that private?
Warte mal. Koi. Das war der 1.7. Der 1.7. ist Hannah. Und Eve findet das nicht in Ordnung. Am 30.06. Jo.
Are you married? How is your sex life? So, our sex life is probably fairly average for a couple after 10 years of marriage.
So lange sind die zusammen? Stimmt, die waren ja mit 17 früh angefangen.
No, you're talking to the wrong person if you think I'm some kind of slut. If you think I'm the kind of person that would have had sex with all those guys.
Da habe ich halt das Gefühl, dass die das so ein bisschen vorspielt, weil in dem letzten Tape vom 3.7. ist sie eigentlich relativ locker drauf, wo sie ja erzählt hat, sie hat mit was weiß ich wie vielen Leuten geschlafen, um versucht schwanger zu werden. Weiß ich nicht. Facer? Face. Was Neues? Nope. Sarah. Ups. Tippen wird schlimmer. Nur 1, okay. Ava. Nicht. Sarah, Ava, Sister. Ah.
My sister is gone. And she's never coming back.
Warum? Das ist aber doof.
And the hotel said he was there?
Okay, das war, wo sie dann gestanden hat, dass sie da war. Bild. Nein. Paperwork. Nein. Records vielleicht. Yes.
Okay. I've given blood before. Do you need to take that few records?
So, das hat mir jetzt nicht so richtig geholfen. Blood vielleicht noch. Blood. Telephone. Phone. Ach, mit PH dann, ne? Ah, Sekunde.
Sure.
PH.
Yes, of course, if that would help. Will you phone the house to let me know when you want to come round? Then I can make sure that I'm there.
So. Telefon. Ne, hilft trotzdem nicht. Schade. Ja. Da irgendwas Neues? Ja.
Yeah. I've been round to Doug and Eleanor's and they're very worried. I feel sorry for them. Yes. I speak with Eleanor at least once a day. Not that there's anything much to say. It's more just...
Was hat sie denn dann gemacht? Ich habe gerade auf meine Notizen geguckt.
I speak with Eleanor at least once a day. Not that there's anything much to say. It's more just...
Okay. Okay. Eleanor. Doug. Da irgendwas? Ja.
I got a job to contribute, you know. Doug knew someone and I got a job as a dinner lady at the primary school. He said it didn't matter if I could cook or not, just don't poison the kids. So you see, it's always been complicated between me and Simon. It's never just been the two of us. There's always been pressure.
Ja. So, wenigstens komme ich so langsam ans Ende. Ich weiß nicht, ob das gut ist oder nicht. Das schon mal nicht. So, jetzt habe ich nur noch Card. Ja, da ist noch was. Sehr schön.
He has a wallet, a huge, silly thing, leather.
Wallet.
Real leather, I think. He packs it full of stuff, business cards, receipts, lottery tickets. Always carries it in his back pocket. I think that's why he's got a bad back. Sets the discs. I haven't seen it, so he must have it on him. He always takes it out of his back pocket before when he comes in, if he's in the house.
Mhm. Bevor was? So. Knock. Code. Auch nur das. Also wer auch immer da getaggt hat, das andere Knock-Video hätte man durchaus da reinpacken können. Blöd. Ja. Ich schreibe mal gerade noch Accomplice. Wie schreibt man das eigentlich? Wahrscheinlich nicht so, wie ich es aufgeschrieben habe.
Nothing like this has ever happened to me before. The blood. It's probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
Weil sie die Miscarriage nicht hatte. Und die Eltern nicht gestorben. Also klar sind die Eltern gestorben, aber es war jetzt für sie halt nicht so tragisch.
She was sat behind him. She had my wig on. And she'd been there all day. And she had blood on her. And she was in shock.
So, ich könnte Friday, Saturday noch ausschreiben. Friday. Saturday. Aha.
It was late. Early Saturday morning.
Toll. So alleinstehend bringt mir das nicht so viel. Wallets. So, das wäre jetzt... mit einem oder... Nee, so schon mal nicht. Ich versuch's mal mit einem C. Nein. Dann... was könnte man nehmen? Together. Auch das könnte man richtig schreiben, so. Aha.
Not drugs. I mean, he drinks, but never very much. He goes to the pub and has one or two. Sometimes we go together. He drinks wine with food, but no, he doesn't have any kind of drink.
So, Drink. Nee. Da fehlen echt noch einige, ne? Achso, da kann man refreshen. Okay. So. Jetzt müsste ich überlegen, was ich da noch fragen wollen würde. Das Problem ist... wenn ich das anschaue jetzt, ja? Nee, zeig mir nur das Letzte, was ich gesehen habe. Also was ich neu gesehen habe. Nicht das Letzte, was ich anhatte. Leider. Arrest hatte ich schon, ne? Jetzt habe ich so viele Dinger hier. Hatte ich schon, ja. Was sagt meine... Genau... Ich habe sogar... Koppen habe ich geschrieben. Sehr gut. Könnte ich es vielleicht nochmal richtig versuchen. Complice. Nee, trotzdem nicht. Okay. Simon hat die meisten. Ich meine, gut, er wird halt auch super oft erwähnt, ne? Die ganzen anderen Leute habe ich drin. Die ganzen Verwandten, die da drin waren. Parents hatte ich drin. Also letztendlich denke ich mal, wie das abgelaufen ist. Lass mich mal gucken. Eve und Hannah sind als Zwilling geboren worden. Eve ist gelandet bei Florence, der Hebamme, ist dort kurz aufgewachsen und irgendwann zu irgendeinem Geburtstag, ich weiß gar nicht, welches das war, ist sie in den Dachboden gezogen. Unbemerkt. Lustigerweise. Und dann mit 17 wurde die verheiratet, sind bei den Eltern vom Simon eingezogen. Von dort aus sind sie irgendwann ins eigene, oder nee, da sind die Eltern gestorben und sie hatte ein Miscarriage. Und dann haben sie aber das Haus geerbt und sind dann in das Haus gezogen. Und irgendwann am 17.06. hat sie diesen Streit wegen dem Baby. Aber wieso wegen dem Baby? Warum? Wegen dem Miscarriage? Das weiß ich nicht mehr. Eine ist geblieben. Ich würde sagen Hannah. Und Eve ist nach Glasgow gefahren. So. Dann ist sie wieder zurückgefahren. Und dann war... Also, ich glaube, sie hatte die hatte Simon schon umgebracht. Gegen 8 abends. Doch. Aber warte mal, hat der Pap den nicht gesehen? Oder hatte sie das nur gesagt? Warte mal. Ich will noch mal gucken, wie die Dinger da heißen. Die Inhaber.
So, it was Friday evening. We had an argument. He left. On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited.
Nee, da wollte ich nicht hin.
It's the Rockington Arms.
Aha.
The Rock. It's run by a nice couple.
Peter und Susan. Peter. Nein. Susan. Nein, okay. Haben wir die auf jeden Fall schon mal raus. So. Warte mal. Was hatte sie gesagt? Haben die das gehört? Left, then come back. Saturday afternoon. The phone. That's our local. They said they... Okay. Das heißt, der war Freitagabend, aber trotzdem noch da. Ist zur Bar, ist dann wahrscheinlich zurück. Und dann hat sie ihn umgebracht? Es klang halt eher so, als hätte sie das direkt bei dem Geschenk gemacht. Unique. Aua. Das war das. Dann hat sie ihn halt aufgeschlüsselt. Dann hätte ich jetzt gesagt, ist sie weggefahren nach Glasgow, damit die ein Alibi haben. Und dann sind sie zurück, haben den Körper irgendwie in die Boxen oder in diese Tüten gepackt aus der Küche. Küche? Kitchen? Ich meine, das kam jetzt auch schon ein paar Mal vor, aber nee. Dispose. Nee. So. Sonst? Ich glaube, sonst habe ich halt echt alles durch. Zumindest alles, was mir so einfällt. Und ich meine, die hatten sich halt schon zusammen dafür entschieden, das zu machen. Also den zu verstecken. Ist jetzt nicht so, als hätte sie verpfiffen direkt. Ja. Kann ich schreiben? Achso. Da kann ich. Keiner? Ach, der blockt mich, okay. Und jetzt? Sarah. Also haben die das dann das Kind gleich genannt? Okay. Aber okay, dann bin ich halt als Sarah Police Officer geworden, scheinbar. Na gut. Log off. Okay. Ja, war doch nicht schlecht. Also hier und da, klar, hat mir noch was gefehlt, aber so an sich fand ich gut. Ist halt, Wobei, wenn ich jetzt geschrieben hätte, nein. Also, er hat ja gefragt, also kannst du verstehen, warum sie das getan hat oder sowas? Wenn ich nein geschrieben hätte, wäre natürlich jetzt interessant gewesen, was der Officer gesagt hätte. Aber an sich habe ich das Gefühl, dass das sehr offen ist. Und ich weiß nicht, ob, wenn man nicht drauf kommt, oder ob ich überhaupt drauf gekommen bin. Ich meine, ich habe so einen groben, eine grobe Timeline oder sowas, aber ob das jetzt richtig war, weiß ich nicht. Ehrlich gesagt. Oh, 3 Zettel vollgeschrieben. Also das mit den 2 Schwestern auf jeden Fall. Aber warum ihre Schwester jetzt weg sein soll, weiß ich nicht. Weil ich meine, eine Störung kann es nicht sein, weil die haben unterschiedliche Tattoos. Ja. Okay, dann reicht mir das für heute. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und man sieht sich beim nächsten Mal. Tschüss.